Controllers who didn't call out sick during the shutdown $10,000 bonuses. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem wants to do the same for TSA security workers who also stayed on the job at airports with their pay delayed.
For stepping up, taking on extra shifts, for showing up each and every day, for serving the American people.
With the government back open, there's a big focus on the economy, which will have slower growth this quarter because of the shutdown. Democrats keep pushing for an extension of Obamacare tax credits that'll expire at year's end, driving up the cost of health coverage for millions of Americans. Vice President Vance tells Fox they're focused on making things more affordable.
We inherited a disaster. We're very mindful of the fact that there's a lot of work to do, but I think that we've made great progress.
Data from the National Association of Realtors shows the qualifying income needed to afford a median-priced home has jumped to more than $100,000 in 2024, up from about $85,000 in 2022. Meantime, the median personal income has not caught up. It was about $45,000 in 2024, and about 24% of U.S. households say they live paycheck to paycheck.
And that's Fox's Madeline Rivera on Wall Street. Stock futures are down after the biggest sell-off in a month over uncertainty about future interest rate cuts. The Dow plunged almost 800 points. Russia bombarded Ukraine's capital overnight with another drone and missile barrage, doing damage, starting fires, killing 4 people, injuring at least 34 in Kyiv. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A change is coming to Indiana's Medicaid system. Nothing on radar. 45 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 67. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. Indiana is cutting ties with MD Wise, one of the state's longtime Medicaid providers. Starting on January 1st, MD Wise will no longer be part of Medicaid plans, and that means more than 300,000 Hoosiers who rely on coverage will lose their health care coverage. The company says not only losing coverage for people, but this could cost hundreds of people their jobs. They call the move unfair, harmful to patients, and a violation of the contract that they signed with the state just last year. Hamilton County teachers walked out of a school board meeting Wednesday night demanding higher pay. Here's John Herrick.
A concerned parent named Ben Greenbaum went in front of the school board Wednesday night to speak, but he was turned away.
Finding it difficult to understand why we are asking our teachers to take what amounts to a pay cut next year. With the proposed...
You're speaking about collective bargaining, and that is not on the agenda tonight.
86% of teachers in the district voted down a new contract because of a pay freeze and rising health care costs. The teachers are part of the Hamilton Southeastern Education Association. They held their own meeting in the parking lot after the board refused to discuss the issue. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Day number 3 of the Eddie Jones trial starts in just a few hours as jurors revisit the June 28-23 pursuit that killed Indiana State Trooper Aaron Smith in Plainfield. Jurors have already seen body cam footage of the Jones in panic. They've also heard from former Superintendent Doug Carter, who questioned Jones's remorse, and they have reviewed video from the 100-mile-an-hour chase. In college basketball, the number 2 Purdue Boilermakers won on the road last night, beating number 8 Alabama 87-80.
This win, you think, is great for us. You know, it's a resume builder, but this loss right here could be the best thing that happens to them. We played much better. We were quicker to the basketball. But, yeah, we showed some resiliency today. That was good to see.
That's head coach Matt Painter. Braden Smith, who's a guard for the team, scored 29 points. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together in 1 minute on a Friday morning at 6:04.
The biggest Black Friday sale ever is going on now at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Save up to $800 on top brand mattresses from Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Sealy. Indiana-made Smith Brothers of Bern is holding their factory-authorized sale with the lowest price in 2025 and 50% off all Flex Deal and Lazy Boy. Free delivery, cash discounts, interest-free financing. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Do you remember what was happening in America? Families struggling, billions in wasteful spending. But Senator Todd Young fought back. He voted for working family tax cuts, and Senator Young voted to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse, saving taxpayers billions. So call Senator Todd Young at 202-224-5623 and thank him for supporting the Working Families Tax Cut. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
All right, southbound 6570 already heavy with slow traffic. Northwest to Washington Street because of road construction that started, well, on Monday for that matter. It's the lane reductions on southbound 6570 from the Northwest down to Fletcher. And the entrance ramp, very valuable entrance ramp that's closed. Washington Street to southbound 6570. And hopefully this will be all done Monday morning by the time you hit the roads to go to work. Traffic sponsored by Moderna. Mnext by COVID-19 vaccine. mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnextspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Good morning. How does the weather look?
Hey, Craig. Good morning on this Friday. Pretty nice day ahead. Partly cloudy and actually should be a little warmer than yesterday. It should be beautiful. Winds still pretty calm. Today's high around 63. Mostly cloudy skies tonight. As a result, we're not as cold overnight. A low down to 53. Saturday will be warm, but it does get a bit windy through the afternoon. Mostly cloudy. Can't rule out maybe a sprinkle or two in the afternoon. Saturday's high 70. Sharply cooler Sunday. Mostly cloudy, blustery winds, but close to where we should be for this time of year. Sunday's high 54. Monday, partly cloudy. We'll see rain arrive late Monday night with highs into the low 50s.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Right now, it's 6:07 Friday morning. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. This is a bit of background stuff. Carl, can you mute the Zoom mic? Because I can hear myself coming back, and I need that to go away. Because I'll go crazy, and it'll be something. But all right, lots of things going on out there in the world. There we go. Oh, my God. That's so much better. All right. Senator John Fetterman refused to back down. This is the way that some people are referring to this, in a back and forth with Katie Couric. I actually think that Katie Couric's line of questioning is disgusting. And I'll play you a bit, and you'll understand why very quickly. So Fetterman, senator, a guy that the left hates now, which is so weird. To take a step back for a second, John Fetterman has been one of the more fascinating senators over the last few years for me in a while. Like, it's been a good amount of time since I've been more fascinated by the trajectory of someone than John Fetterman. Because when he first gets into office and he's struggling with, having a heart attack and whatnot, a lot of people on the right, myself included, a lot of conservatives would say things like, he needs to go away for his own good, not for us, just because he doesn't seem to be someone who should be doing what he's doing. He's someone who seems to not be healthy as far as the stress of this type of job is concerned. And yet now I'm kind of thrilled that he's still in that role, that he's still a senator and someone that's willing to say the truth, even though he's on the political opposite side of the aisle of me and doesn't agree with a lot of the things I agree with. So now the left hates him, by the way, because he does too often tell the truth for them. This back and forth where Katie Couric was asking about the appropriateness of honoring Charlie Kirk after his political assassination. That is the right way to say it. He was murdered for his political beliefs. It's surreal that this is the kind of thing that someone in news media would be so upset about or need to talk about. But darn it, here we are. Let's play a little bit of this audio.
Do you think that flag should have been flown at half staff? Do you think his body should have been flown on Air Force Two? Do you think he should have posthumously be given the Presidential Medal of Freedom? I think some people felt that that was perhaps over the top in terms of mourning someone like Charlie Kirk. How did you feel about that?
The first thing I would want to say, by the way, if this question was to me, is what do you mean like Charlie Kirk? What can you better define what you're saying? Obviously, it's the things he believed and the fact that you didn't like the things he believed. But the person was shot and killed for his political beliefs as someone that had a politically valuable position in our society, meaning he was a thought leader in the world of politics, certainly for young people, and he was murdered for that. These are usually people that we do actually offer quite a bit of significance in our society. We don't deny, the value of those individuals. It's actually kind of crazy. If Charlie Kirk had been a radical leftist and had been as willing to support the left as he was to support the right, all of those same things would have happened. If Biden or someone else is in office and like the Charlie Kirk comparable person on the left, which doesn't exist, had been shot and killed, it would have been all over media. People would have been acting differently in a lot of the places where they tried to like shout this down. And the right wouldn't have begged for it to be different. I think they would have just ignored it, more or less, if they did anything on that issue, unlike the left being so mad about it. But here, a little bit more.
I'd say that was his choice and his prerogative.
Right.
And that was really entirely up to him.
Did you have any issues now in hindsight over some of the things that Charlie Kirk said and some of the rhetoric he used during his life?
I didn't agree with much of it. I didn't closely follow his specific kinds of views, but I did.
I'm sure you learned about.
Oh, it's crazy. This is crazy how angry you can tell. I guess angry might not be the right word, but to me it feels angry that Kirk is getting, because she's not getting the answer she wants. She wants John Fetterman to, crap all over the legacy of Charlie Kirk after he's been murdered in the street. I want to play the end of this audio and then we'll take a break. I'm probably going to talk about this more today. This is just crazy.
I think some people might say Charlie Kirk's rhetoric was extreme. I think that's the conversation that happened. People condemned political violence, but they also felt a great deal of discomfort with his language, suggesting that these kinds of words lead to violence. I don't know. I'm just kind of sharing my observations as
You're trying to get your guest to say that you think Charlie Kirk deserved to be killed.
Saw the conversations unfold.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we agree that we probably didn't agree with much of what he said. And I think I'm sure we both agree that you shouldn't shoot people, and you shouldn't execute them in public. And
thank you, John Fetterman.
That's two things must be true.
Yeah, and when you're talking about this, you can't forget that second part in having a discussion about the first part and try to condemn Charlie Kirk after he's been murdered in the street. It's crazy. The amount of, I don't know what it is. I have to call it anger that exists on the left sometimes, and the way in which it's exposed. That seems to be the biggest one recently. Katie Couric being obsessed with getting Fetterman to say that Charlie Kirk was a bad guy or deserved to be killed, which it seems like that's what she wanted to hear. And he didn't say it because it's insane to say that sort of thing, because of course he didn't deserve to be killed. All right, we'll take a quick break. A lot coming up. We're going to try to have fun on a Friday. I know that's a very serious start, but we're going to try to have some fun. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
This is Gary Dick, a boost for biomanufacturing at 6:32. On November 21st, join Indiana's top energy professionals and industry leaders for IBJ Media's Future of Energy Summit. Register today at ibj.com/events.
We know that around the holidays, things don't always go as planned. That's why Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So make memories this season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Over 2,000 to choose from. And buy with zero down. Yes, zero down delivers. Every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. It includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. No matter where your plans take you, spread cheer all season long, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations. Select models, approved credit, warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Matt, how do the roads look today?
Pretty good so far, Craig, as we check southbound 6570. And it is stop-and-go traffic because of construction from the north split down to Washington Street. And speaking of, the entrance ramp still closed from Washington to southbound 6570, and it will be until early Monday morning. This is because of maintenance project involving a train bridge. Somebody ran into the train bridge and you have to fix it. That's what's happening now. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies, and services to get your packages there safely. Even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Traffic can also unofficially be brought to you by the Matt and Craig Excellent Podcast.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
If you want, it's okay. I'm one of the two co-hosts of it. I'm totally fine with it. I think the other guy would be cool with it, too. Your weather, mostly sunny, a high of 66 for today. 45 right now. It's some light rain in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Weather Center of 93 WIBC and the Matt and Craig Excellent Podcast.
Tickets are going fast for Saturday night showdown between the Pacers and Raptors.
Here comes Nembhard, finds Morris up against the right sideline. He'll let a three go and hit it from the right side.
The Pacers will be donning their new City Edition uniforms, and it's your first chance to buy a new jersey at the Pacers team store.
The shot clock at 5. Now he drives and kicks, and Walker scores off the pass from Morris.
Wear what the players wear and cheer on your blue and gold Saturday night. Get your tickets at Pacers.com/tickets. Pacers Raptors, Saturday at 7.
You get up early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to thrive in the winter. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $5,250. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
It's the most wonderful time of year at Sundown Gardens. Join them Saturday, November 22nd for their annual holiday open house. Stroll through the garden shop to shop the festive decor, enjoy food samples, and sign up for giveaways and door prizes with your purchase. Fresh-cut trees, greenery, wreaths, porch pots, and more will fill the greenhouse. Bring your family and friends to enjoy the festivities. Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. And don't forget to bring your holiday spirit.
What's Jeff Saturday up to these days?
Retiring from football means a lot of things for a guy like me. It means more time to pick up some hobbies, like baking, puzzles, and some gardening. It also means pinching pennies. And that's why I look for unclaimed property at IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Look, it's your money, and they want you to have it. So check IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Jeff to 46220 and search now.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Fall is here, and if that means it's time for new flooring in your home, then Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as a few weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means receiving more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Stop in today or visit brothers-floorcovering.com.
The Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. For hunting, sporting, and personal protection gear, visit the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
Yeah! Tony Katz, the Morning News. 93 WIBC. My name is Greg Collins, filling in. Matt and Carl hang out as they do every single morning on this show. Matt Bear can also be heard on Matt and Craig Excellent Podcast. If you want to check him out there. I won't keep this trend up. That's 3 mentions in the first 30 minutes. I promise I'll back off a little bit. But great show if you want to check it out, wherever you get your podcast.
I love you guys who have never been in trouble around here. Anything goes, and I admire that and look up to it. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I think right. And then once I get in trouble, it'll never happen again. It'll be fine.
Temper yourself a little bit.
All right. Well, fine. All right. A couple things about music. I think this is kind of interesting. First, a poll found that live music is the world's favorite way to be entertained. When they decided, what do you want to do when you go out? What's your optimum thing to do? Live music got far and above more than anything else. Not going to the movies, not doing anything else. The reason why is because you can't mimic that experience at home. You can get pretty close to the movie theater experience now with a projector and fancy stuff in your house, but you still can't get live music anywhere but out. But I do think it has to be good live music. That was not mentioned here. What do we think of this survey, though?
Yeah, I want more specificity on it. I mean, the last concert I went to, I think was the Airborne Toxic event at the Vogue here in Broad Ripple in Indianapolis. Awesome. And that was like a decade ago, 3 lifetimes
Sounds
ago.
Like it.
And I understand the camaraderie because everybody... It's like when you go to a movie, you may or may not like the movie, but when you go to see a band, you know you're going to love the band because you paid the ticket and you've heard their music before.
Yeah.
So I can understand how that kind of brings people in and you want to party and make new friends and get the playlist from the band, sneak up there, grab the little set list that they have. I've done that a couple of times, and that's a lot of fun and super cool. So, yeah, there's more of a bonding with live music as opposed to movies, which you don't know that you're going to like or not.
Right.
That's the thing. Well, you may not enjoy the movie. You're probably going to love the live band, so I get that.
See, that's the thing, though. It depends on where you're at, because if you go to a bar and don't know there's going to be a live performance, and then somebody rolls in and starts playing music and they suck, it's a terrible experience. It's the worst experience to be trapped in an environment with someone that can't sing and really wants to. And you see that a lot. If you go to a karaoke bar, you wind up dealing with that quite a bit. So I do think there's ebbs and flows of how true this is. But yeah, if you're paying for a professional musician to go see them live in concert somewhere, by and large, you're probably going to have a great time. And there's no way to get that at home. That's just the only thing you can do is get it on the road. Here's another music story, though, which is sad. And you guys decide how much you think this is sad. I think it is. AC/DC rocked in Melbourne, Australia. That part is not sad. They had low seismic activity on Wednesday night during their concert, which means there was basically remnants of an earthquake. Here's the sad part. Taylor Swift had a larger seismic activity in the same place when she did that venue last year. So the question now on the internet is, does Taylor Swift rock harder than AC/DC? And I'm very upset to ask this question, and you guys can answer the question if you'd like. The answer obviously is no, but based on seismic activity, unfortunately, it might be yes.
I like it. I mean, I grew up with AC/DC. I love AC/DC. Right. And admittedly, I don't want to admit this at all, Craig. There's a couple of Taylor Swift songs I like. Okay, Blank Space was great. I know. All right, listen, I'm going to put myself out there. Blank Space was one of the greatest pop songs of the last decade. Okay, it was a really good song. As far as the rest of the catalog, no Taylor Swift. Sorry, I got to regain my manhood here. AC/DC is an awesome rock band, but the thing is they don't have the draw that Taylor Swift has now. We're just talking about contemporary, and we're not talking about the past, because AC/DC used to sell out planets.
Yeah.
Entire planets.
True.
And everybody wanted to go see that band because it was such a performance. But now Taylor Swift is doing the same thing, just in a different vein. She's a hell of a performer. Concert I wouldn't pay money for, but obviously she's going to have that more activity, that seismic activity, that with the gathering of the people and everybody being loud. It's just a bigger crowd. That's all it is. It's a bigger crowd right now.
I love that you're blaming it on the crowd, because that makes a lot of sense to me, that AC/DC would rock harder if the same amount of people showed up, and it's really just people walking around and singing Taylor Swift songs. I don't know. And I will say this.
The AC/DC crowd is a lot older, too.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Even the guys at AC/DC, maybe they still rock hard, but they're like, I want to go to sleep tonight without my ears ringing.
If you rock hard, you break a hip.
Right. Maybe they pull it back a little bit now for their own good and for everybody else's benefit. I don't know.
AC/DC, and they feature Keith Richards. Tonight's special guest, Taylor Swift will bring out Lisa Kudrow and, different various guests that are different concerts. Hey, we have Keith Richards here tonight to really youthen up our audience. So,
I do hate the question, though, so I'll just say it one more time for anyone out there. It's actually being asked on the internet, and the internet people are being dumb about it. Who rocks harder, Taylor Swift or AC/DC? I know, not a question I thought I'd be asking at this time or at any time in my entire life.
The world has turned upside down. It really has. I don't even know what planet we're on anymore.
One last quick thing before we take a break. Science has found a new way to win consistently at rock, paper, scissors. This is a real story. They said that you have to ignore the choice someone made if you tie and just keep being random. But the brain does not do a good job with that. So we always, if you throw, rock the first time and the other person does the same thing and you tie, you can't try to throw paper to defeat rock. You just got to throw anything. You just got to be random again and you'll win more often. This is the weirdest hack in the world because it sounds like none of us can do it. No one can forget what just happened, and we all lose the very next round, apparently.
See, we never played rock, paper, scissors. We played the blackout game. We just, the first one to pass out was the person who lost, and those were generally the rules. I mean, we were in high school. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you believe it or not, you can overthink rock, paper, scissors, and it's not something to gamble on. You're
the
playing
blackout game, was that alcohol involved?
Eventually, yeah. I mean, but we started this in our early teen years. I mean, we're sophomores in high school out on the lake playing the blackout game, and whoever passed out first was the loser.
You just held your breath till you passed out?
Well, it involved some. I don't want to get into the details because I don't want kids going to school right now playing the blackout game as soon as they get to recess.
I've never played this. I don't know anything about the blackout
Well, we
game.
were dumb kids, okay?
This is a good time to promote supporting sobriety.
Oh yeah, that's a good podcast, man. I've heard about that one too.
Also good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Also good. Not quite as good as Matt and Craig. Excellent podcast, but really, really great out there in the world.
The two complement each other well, let's say that.
They do. I would listen to both. If it were me, I would do one and then the other. All right, we got to take a break. A lot going on. Matt's got traffic for us.
Southbound 6570 stop and go traffic from the north split down to Washington Street. That's a construction zone on top of a construction zone. The one that's going on that started early Monday morning will be done this coming Monday morning, okay? And that's the lane restrictions on southbound 6570 from the north split to Fletcher and the entrance ramp closure of Washington Street to southbound 6570. All that should be done early Monday morning. And of course, we'll keep an eye on it and let you know here. From the WIBC Traffic Center. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to DrexelIN.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Renaming the Department of Defense could cost billions.
Join us Friday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Madison County Fairgrounds in Alexandria. The best dealers in the region. Hundreds of tables. Just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Madison County Fairgrounds in Alexandria. For more info, visit CentralIndianaGunShows.com.
Christmas is almost here, and if you're shopping on a budget, you shop at PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg. Truly unique pieces you won't find anywhere else. And sale prices every single day. At PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, you'll find gold, diamonds, gemstones, exquisite, one-of-a-kind pieces, and incredible local artist designs all within your budget. Your perfect place to shop for the holidays. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg, or online at pajewelers.jewelry. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
Groceries, gas, just about everything you can buy comes with a tax on it. No matter what, the government's always there to take their cut of your cash. Your money belongs to you. That's why Congressman Jim Baird joined with President Donald Trump to pass historic legislation to ensure you keep more of your hard-earned cash. According to the White House, Congressman Baird's vote means Americans will receive a tax cut, saving over $10,000 every year. They'll get no taxes on tips for workers, and families will receive permanent increases to child tax credits and expanded child care access. That means bigger paychecks, a stronger economy, and more prosperity across our nation. To learn more about how President Trump and Congressman Jim Baird are saving American families money and putting money in your wallet, call Congressman Baird's office at 317-563-5567 or visit baird.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
What are the chances of another government shutdown? It's raining at the airport, 45 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 67 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. The government's funded through January 30th, and lawmakers plan to finish the budget by passing 12 separate spending bills to fund different agencies for the next fiscal year.
That runs until the end of September. 3 bills have already been signed by President Trump, funding the Department of Agriculture, the legislative branch, and the Department of Veterans Affairs, meaning if a shutdown happens again, SNAP and Veterans Services will not be at risk. The 9 remaining bills will need 60 votes in the Senate.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz reporting. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is recognizing TSA agents for their work during the shutdown. On Thursday, she said agents kept airports running smoothly and demonstrated patriotism. She also announced $10,000 checks for those who worked through the shutdown. Apple is adding digital IDs to wallets, and it's going head-to-head with Google.
It works not just on an iPhone, but also on an Apple Watch. Just go into the Wallet app and act as if you're adding a new card to the wallet. It will give you the option to add a state driver license or ID card, though not every state is participating with their ID cards just yet. But Apple will also add your U.S. passport to the wallet for the purpose of domestic travel only.
That's Fox's Eben Brown reporting. And if you're looking for something fun to do before Christmas, you can climb aboard the Reindeer Express for a holiday train ride through northern Hamilton County, and that starts today.
You're going to board onto our 1956 vintage train cars. It's going to be a 75-minute long magical ride.
And your kids can ride the Nickel Plate Express to see Santa and his elves, complete with hot chocolate and cookies. The holiday event runs through December 23rd. Tickets available at Nickel Plate Express. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. The Heartland BioWorks Tech Hub has signed an agreement with the National Institute for Bioprocessing Research and Training in Ireland to fuel biomanufacturing workforce development efforts in Indiana. Through the agreement, Heartland BioWorks will provide biomanufacturing training curriculum across 8 Midwestern states. BioCrossroads CEO Vince Wong.
We'll be able to, again, be a center of gravity for anyone wanting to either, get upskilled, or in college students wanting to get hands-on training experience with regards to what's necessary from a large molecule upstream, downstream processing and biopharma.
The board of directors for Evansville-based Shoe Carnival has unanimously approved a plan to change the company's corporate name to Shoe Station Group, Inc. The move, which still requires shareholder approval, comes as the company continues to re-banner many of its Shoe Carnival stores to the Shoe Station brand. Shoe Carnival acquired Alabama-based Shoe Station in 2021 for $67 million. Indiana University's Breast Tissue Bank, a key tool for breast cancer researchers, has been awarded a 2-year $750,000 grant from the Susan G. Komen Organization. Since its founding in 2007, the Susan G. Komen Tissue Bank at IU's Melvin and Bryn Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center has collected healthy breast tissue from more than 5,600 women. You're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader. Purdue University is headed to Dallas this weekend for a pair of events intended to pique the interest of potential future Boilermakers. The first event Pause with Purdue invites middle and high school students to a 45-minute yoga session at Arlington's AT&T Stadium, the home of the Dallas Cowboys. The second event continues a collaboration with a media and lifestyle brand affiliated with actress Reese Witherspoon. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
All right, Gary, checking westbound 70 into the north split. That's now stop-and-go traffic for those of you exiting to southbound 6570. And once you're there, stop and go down to Washington Street. That's a construction zone until early Monday morning. Lanes are reduced, and yes, it's slowing us down. Northbound 65, south side. More construction, stop and go before Raymond into the south split. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to DrexelIN.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Mostly sunny, a high near 66 for today. 45 and some light rain right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center. 93 WIBC with sports. Ryan Hedrick.
Craig, good morning. Number 2, Purdue went into Tuscaloosa last night and beat number 8, Alabama, 87-80. Braden Smith scored 29 points and says the rowdy Alabama student section kept him fired up.
Obviously, some games, like, it's not there or not as much as it was tonight or any other given night, but that's what I always try to do. Every night I try to go out there and find some way to have that competitive edge and that chip on my shoulder to go compete.
Trey Kaufman-Wren scored 19 points and grabbed 13 rebounds. The Pacers dropped its 6th straight game, getting blown out by the Phoenix Suns 133-98. The Pacers are 1-11. College football tomorrow. Number 2, Indiana looks to stay perfect against Wisconsin. 9th-ranked Notre Dame plays 22nd-ranked Pitt. And Thursday night football, the New England Patriots over the New York Jets 27-14. The Pats are 9-2. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new 2026 Corolla, $219 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, 249 dealer doc, 36 months RAV4 model 4432, 39 months Corolla model 1852, 29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/30.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Right now at Tom Roush Lincoln, get a 2025 Lincoln Corsair for $4,000 off plus 0% APR. 2025 Lincoln Aviator from $5,000 off plus 0%. Or 2025 Lincoln Nautilus for $4,500 off. Also 0% APR. So come get that new Lincoln at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fisher.
Corsair MSRP 51,720. Aviator MSRP 72,225. Nautilus MSRP 71,60. 0% APR for 48 months on qualifying Lincolns. Good through 12/1/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Press 1 for balances. Press 2 for deposits. Press 3 to scream into the void.
We get it. These days, it's all phone menus and chatbots. But business banking doesn't have to be that way. Bank with Horizon and discover the power of real AI, advisor intelligence. Real people who answer calls, know your business, and go above and beyond to help you succeed. Get started today at horizonbank.com/businessai. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
Heating and air conditioning can be the largest investment you make in your home. Here at Family, we pride ourselves in offering many flexible options.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I'm going to wait a little bit for this one. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. Oh, not yet. Got to get a couple more. This is Craig Collins filling in. That is AC/DC, by the way. A great bump song chosen there. Lots of things to talk about out there in the world. The Purdue Boilermakers are great at basketball. That's not new, but it's interesting that they took down Alabama. You heard it in the sports report that Ryan Hedrick did a little bit ago. 87-80. Ranked number 2 in the country. And then IU is incredibly good at football. It's a weird time for college athletics around the Indianapolis area. And it made me just curious. I had a lot of friends that went to Ball State. If they were doing anything, they feel like the redheaded stepchild right now in Indiana college athletics. And Ball State themselves claims they're doing great in swimming and gymnastics. Just so you know, they got some highly touted recruits in the world of gymnastics. And I think they had a pretty dominant win in the world of women's diving and swimming over the weekend, according again to their own website. So not just Purdue and IU doing great things. Ball State coming in 3rd out of 3 there. Other things out there, I thought this was pretty interesting. J.D. Vance made some comments about the housing market and a lot of young people saying that they can't buy houses. And there's, challenges there that didn't exist in previous generations. And JD said, I can think of at least one thing that's different about our society that may be part of the reason for this. And whether or not you think that this means that I'm saying something racist or horrible and terrible and trying to, shift blame to people who, for whatever reason, to the left, don't deserve it. He is also stating something that is simply a fact. So this deserves to be thought about. Here we go.
There are a lot of people out there, Sean, who are saying things are expensive. And we have to remember they're expensive because we inherited this terrible inflation crisis from the Biden administration. But you've already seen signs that things are getting better. The price of eggs has gone way down. The price of energy has gone way down. The price of gasoline has gone way down. And as we know, when the price of energy goes down, that starts to filter out into the entire economy, but that also takes a little bit of time. There's another component of this, Sean, which to me is maybe the most important because I care so much about our young people being able to afford a good life. A lot of young people are saying housing is way too expensive. Why is that? Because we flooded the country with 30 million illegal immigrants who are taking houses that ought by right go to American citizens. And at the same time, we weren't building enough new houses to begin with, even for the population that we had.
He said something terrible, and everybody's going to be mad about it, and people are going to be up in arms and say he's a horrible racist for saying it, and yet it's also true. If you have a lot more people here in the country, housing becomes more difficult, especially when everyone is trying to buy their own house. There was a time in our society where families lived together. That is no longer the case for a whole lot of people. What I mean by that is not just your immediate family, like you'd live with mom and dad for a bit longer, or they'd live with you for a bit longer. That was another byproduct of this that we're seeing less and less of. So I do think it's interesting as far as a point that gets thrown out there and maybe isn't talked about a lot. But of course, the left is up in arms because how dare you say something that is in fact grounded in fact? It's based in truth, regardless if it sounds nice or mean to a certain group of people. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
The government is back open.
93 WIBC.
But the arguments go on. Officials argue the president's economic agenda is making life more affordable.
What happens next?
Almost 1,000 flights canceled again today. Nearly 500 delayed.
Happens here.
Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is joining Democrats in forcing a House vote to release the Epstein files.
I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files.
Another update is just minutes away.
The House will vote on that next week in the search for more information and clients.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Join WIBC this Saturday for the Home and Garden Show, live from 9 till 1 at Sullivan Hardware, 71st and Keystone for Turkey Fest. Check out all the ways to cook a turkey. Don't miss trash can turkey. All this Saturday at Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 71st and Keystone.
Matt Fair, how do the roads look?
Pretty good, Craig, except around Indiana's second busiest interchange. That's the North Split. Westbound 70 drags from Sherman Drive into the North Split, especially for those exiting to southbound 6570, where we're jammed up, man. North Split down to Washington Street. That's because of construction that'll hopefully end Monday morning. Those lane restrictions on southbound 6570 that are bottling us up right now. Northbound 65 south side stop and go before Raymond into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to DrexelIN.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Scattered showers before 7 o'clock today. Otherwise sunny. A high of, I don't find that, 66. There it is. 45 is the temperature right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Senator Jim Banks is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Jim Banks at 202-224-4814 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Save the date. Sundown Gardens Holiday Open House is November 22nd. But happening now, trees and shrubs 50% off. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. That's awesome. You got Matt and Carl hanging out as they normally do right here on the show every single morning with Tony. Thrilled to be in for Tony today. I saw this story. I thought it was pretty funny. 9 suspects emerged from a car in order to try to rob a vape shop in Washington, D.C. D.C. police are now looking for them. They said that it resembled a clown car. So I just want to repeat what I said a second ago. 9 people got out of the same vehicle that looked clown car-esque and tried to rob a vape shop. I think there's even audio from the owner talking about the incident and the video of it. Let's play a little bit of this.
We did find some DNA and stuff like that where they basically kind of cut themselves because of the glass. Everything was destroyed. My heart dropped because it's like all of this hard work that we do to bring the community together, to bring some businesses together. It is very hard to build businesses.
Very hard. He's actually a victim. That part's important. But again, the craziest part to me is that 9 guys stuffed themselves into a clown car to rob a vape shop. Anyone want to react to this?
Craig, it doesn't take 9 people to rob a vape shop. That's the first thing I'm thinking.
It does not.
No, this is a passive-aggressive sort that you encounter when you're shopping for your vape supplies, as I do as a vapor of the nicotine sorts. And I'm thinking, this guy, he's talking about a small business and everything, and he's going to be younger because these vape shops are, call me crazy, but they're good opportunities for younger people, like, say, in their 20s, to get their first venture into being an entrepreneur and actually opening their own business, because all you need is something the size of a closet. And you can sell your vape material. So I kind of like vape shops, and I know around Indiana they kind of draw, like, especially in the rural areas, what you might call an unsavory sort, like myself, to these vape
people
shops.
like Matt Bear.
But yeah, people like Matt Bear. But really, as I see it, being somebody who likes capitalism, they're really good opportunities for young people to go out and start a business. And I think that's kind of cool. However, it doesn't take 9. I'm just trying to picture the vehicle, right? Was it a Tesla truck that they're pouring out of? Was it a Hummer? I mean, how do you fit 9 people into a vehicle?
Yeah, no, they said it was a clown car or something that looked clown car-esque, which is, I guess, the whole point. I don't know, man. I get what you're saying. I wonder what it feels like to be stuffed in the car with 8 other people planning to rob the vape shop. I wonder how that drive feels the whole time you're going over there.
Think about these old crime movies where they're putting the pantyhose over their head and they're getting their guns ready and they're like, okay, 2 minutes, response time, 30 seconds. And they're robbing a vape shop.
I love it. This is the worst Ocean's movie idea you've ever seen out there. 9 guys in a clown car robbing a vape shop. All right.
Right, yeah.
Other things out there that I thought were interesting. An AI startup in Los Angeles has released an app that allows you to, quote, communicate with your loved ones who have passed away. You would upload certain things into the computer, and then within 3 minutes, it'll build what it thinks is a realistic avatar to talk to someone that's no longer with us. I think this is weird. I've always thought this is weird, but it seems like it might be kind of popular. Any thoughts on this?
Oh, this is I've thought about this before, and we might have talked about this on the podcast. I can't remember.
Yes, we did. The Matt and Craig Excellent podcast.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to promote anything there. Here's the thing. I do not ever want to tell somebody how to grieve. Okay.
Sure.
Especially when it's a spouse or a child, or with a mother or father that's sudden. If they're old, they've lived a good life. There's some sort of solace there knowing that they've had that good life. But I don't want to tell anybody how to grieve. And as much I'm the AI paranoid guy, I'm ready for them to come take my job and everybody else's job in the world. And as much as I have, reservations about AI, if this helps somebody feel better, and then why not? Why not have that connection to help yourself grieve? And
I get it.
Yeah, it's tough because at the same time, we're not further enough along with AI right now to really have a strong opinion on this. But I want people to be able to heal, so it's hard. Yeah.
I do. I don't think that this is a conduit to healing, though. I think that pretending as though someone's alive who's not, through the use of artificial intelligence that mimics them being alive, would make it longer as far as the process of grieving goes. There's stages of grieving, and one of those stages is acceptance. You accept the thing that you don't want to be real that happened, which I think helps you inevitably get over something, and still honoring and caring about your loved one. I think this would be the way to avoid the acceptance part of the equation. And anyone worth their salt in the world of psychology will tell you that's an important part of grieving and then getting past whatever the thing is causing you pain. And so that would be my biggest complaint about this, is that I think that it allows the fantasy and not the reality to exist longer in ways that get creepier and creepier with the advancement of AI. And I'll just say this personally, I don't want anyone making any AI of me. When I'm gone, baby, I'm gone. Don't bring me back. Don't talk to me as a computer. I want me to be gone the moment that it's over. And I would love for people to be, devastated by that. I mean this sarcastically. I'm kidding a little bit when I say it. Like, care about me. All that's important. But I don't want anyone making an AI me. That's something I'm not a fan of. All right, Matt, you got some traffic for us?
That's why I don't have any kids. I didn't want to make an AI of me. Looking at westbound 70, stop and go traffic, Sherman Drive into the Northwood, and southbound 6570 jams to Washington. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to drexelin.com for details. Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
If you're experiencing a hardship and need to quickly sell your home, we may be able to help. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Simple Quarters has helped me by allowing me to sell my house. It's given me the financial stability to be able to move and go on with that next chapter. Simple Quarters was the best option for me because there was no BS involved. It was simply straightforward, to the point, honesty. And that is what made me go with Simple Quarters. There was nothing that I didn't expect. They didn't have hidden fees. They didn't ask me to go get an appraisal. They didn't ask me to have a surveyor come out. This has probably been one of the easiest experiences in my life. And if I ever have to do it again, I would call Simple Quarters again. Simple Quarters absolutely kept their word through the whole process.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Barack Obama is back and pushing Democrat-run states like California to rig the midterm elections and put more leftists in Congress. Joe Biden already counted illegals in the 2020 census, but they still want more.
We've watched the Democrats destroy our country.
Now, President Trump is fighting back, and it's time for Indiana to join that fight. Indiana legislators will have a chance to stand with President Trump, level the playing field, and pass fair maps when they convene for a special session on December 1st. Trump's agenda to save America hangs in the balance, and now more than ever, we need leaders with the stomach for a fight. Senator Jim Buck is refusing to tell Hoosiers if he stands with President Trump or Barack Obama and Gavin Newsom. Call Senator Jim Buck today and tell him our country can't afford for him to sit this fight out. It's time for him to stand with President Trump and pass fair maps now. Paid for by Building a Better Economy.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here. It's that time of year again. The trees are up, lights are twinkling, and it's the best price of the season at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. All of our artificial Christmas trees are 30% off, and these aren't your run-of-the-mill trees. They're the best quality you'll find anywhere. We've got over 120 styles. Every single one is up and on display at our Keystone and Allisonville locations, where you can actually walk through and see how they look lit up. No guessing from an online photo. From 2 feet to 14 feet tall, slim trees, full trees, block trees, we've got something for every space and every style. Plus, we're local, so if something goes wrong, we're right here to fix it. So stop in and kick off the season with us at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, where you'll find the best selection, the best service, and the best prices in Indiana. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan and Fishers, or sullivanhardware.com. When you have a fire emergency, you need a restoration company you can trust to put everything back together. Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I know, I've relied on Michaelis after a fire at my home. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Richard, what makes Michaelis the right call if you have a fire?
Michaelis is local and family owned. We are your neighbors, 39 years of experience, and we'll respond 24/7, 365. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified. We will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I've lived it. Michaelis was on the scene at my home before the firefighters had even rolled up their hoses. They asked me about calling a restoration company. I told them I had Michaelis. They told me Michaelis was the real deal. You help with insurance, too?
Yes, we'll work through the insurance process to give you peace of mind.
Water, storm, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what forecasters are saying about this weekend's rain chances, why hundreds of thousands of you could soon be without health care coverage, what new initiative Carmel leaders say they're unveiling, and what the Indiana Pacers had to say after last night's game from the Technology Recyclers Studios. Those stories after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 7 o'clock.
It's not normal, but it's better. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Air travel still reduced, even though the government's back open, with another 600 flights canceled today. But Fox's Garrett Tenney reports from Chicago's O'Hare airports.
For the first time in weeks, the U.S. had no flight delays due to air traffic controller shortages. Thanks to the number of returning controllers, the Transportation Department is pausing its plans to ramp up mandatory flight reductions and will begin to gradually decrease cuts from the current 6% level as staffing improves.
Now, controllers are getting their pay now, and President Trump wants those who kept working during the shutdown to get $10,000 bonuses. TSA security workers who also stayed on the job will get the same. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says
they went above and beyond. They helped individuals. They served extra shifts.
With the shutdown over, the Trump administration's focusing on affordability, planning some tariff exemptions on food and other imports, trying to reduce prices. Vice President Vance tells Fox they want to
make sure that more people can afford a good life. They can afford to buy homes. Young people can afford to start families. And we've actually got good jobs that put people on a career trajectory to stability.
Well, stocks could drop again. Futures falling after the worst day for the market in a month. The Dow plunged nearly 800 points on concern about the shutdown and not just slowing the economy, but also preventing data collection on inflation and unemployment, creating uncertainty over future interest rate cuts. Zoran Mamdani has company as a newly elected socialist mayor. He won in New York City. Katie Wilson declared the winner of a very close race in Seattle.
I want universal child care and free K-8 summer care. I want world-class mass transit.
Wilson beat incumbent Mayor Bruce Harrell by about 2,000 votes. Israel has handed over the bodies of 15 Palestinians, which it does every time Hamas returns the remains of a dead hostage killed in the October 7th, 2023 terror attack that triggered the deadly destructive war in Gaza. Hamas still has to hand over 3 more bodies as part of the ceasefire agreement that ended the war. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What forecasters are saying about rain chances this weekend. Right now, there's light rain on radar at the airport where it's 45 degrees. We're going up to 67 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02.
This morning, we do actually have a few isolated showers out there for central Indiana, but that's just some light rain.
That's forecaster Casey Fuson at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis. She says this weekend might start off a little wet for some, but she doesn't expect it to stick around.
Originally, we were saying some rain chances this weekend, but it looks like that has been pushed off to the east, and so our next good chance of rain is not going to be until Monday night.
And she says it's still too early to predict exactly how much rain we'll see Monday and Tuesday, but if you're heading to high school football games tonight or the Monon Bell Classic tomorrow, the weather should be pretty nice. More than 300,000 Hoosiers will lose Medicaid coverage through MDYs at the start of the new year. Indiana's Family and Social Services Administration has terminated its contract with the nonprofit insurer, removing MDYs from the state's Health Indiana Plan and Hoosier HealthWise programs. MDY says the decision will dismantle its business, disrupt care, and eliminate hundreds of jobs. In a statement, the company called the termination unjustified. It is day number 3 of the Eddie Jones trial. We're just hours away from its start. Jurors are set to revisit the 2023 chase that killed Indiana State Trooper Aaron Smith in Plainfield. So far, they've seen the horrific body cam footage of Jones panicking. They've heard former Superintendent Doug Carter question Jones's remorse and reviewed the high-speed chase that killed Smith. The city of Carmel has started what they call Carmel 311. John Herrick explains how it works.
It's a free mobile app that allows people to report issues, request government services, and receive real-time updates from leaders in Carmel. The mayor of Carmel, Sue Finkham, says this allows community needs to be addressed effectively while also boosting operational efficiency. You can download the Carmel 311 app on Android or iPhone devices. You can also report any issues through their website. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
More money. That's what Hamilton County teachers want. That's why they walked out of a school board meeting on Wednesday. A concerned parent named Ben Greenbaum went in front of the school board to speak out, but he was shut down.
Finding it difficult to understand why we are asking our teachers to take what amounts to a pay cut next year. With the proposed,
you're speaking about collective bargaining, and that is not on the agenda tonight.
86% of the teachers in the district voted down a new contract due to a pay freeze and rising health care costs. The teachers are part of the Hamilton Southeastern Education Association. And the Indiana Pacers are 0-7 on the road, 1-11 on the season. Remember, they just won the Eastern Conference Championship last year. They were blown out by the Phoenix Suns last night, 133-98. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com at 7:05. Traffic on the fives. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? Looking at westbound 70 stop-and-go traffic, Rural Street into the North Split because of construction on southbound 6570. That should be done early Monday morning. Speaking of, southbound 6570 is jammed at North Split down to Washington Street. And more construction south side, northbound 65 from Raymond into the South Split. Northeast side stop-and-go traffic from East 56th Street up to I-69. A northbound 465 a slowdown coming with a delay of 4 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Fresh Time Market. Fresh Time Market, where quality meets savings every day. Fresh produce, meat, and more. Fresh Time Market. Healthy living for less. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. We've got a few spotty showers out there across parts of central Indiana. Otherwise, we'll look for partly cloudy skies this afternoon. It's going to be very mild with highs today near 63. Mainly cloudy conditions tonight with lows falling to 53. And then on Saturday, it is going to be mild and breezy under mostly cloudy skies. We could see winds gusting at times near 30 miles per hour. Can't rule out maybe a stray shower that could be possible. We'll go with highs near 70 and then back into the 50s on Sunday.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now, 7:06 Friday morning. Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff out there to talk about. The House is likely to vote very soon on releasing the rest of the Epstein documents. This is a long-coming thing. People have been discussing this on both sides of the political aisle for quite some time. And, of course, the release of damaging, whatever they called it, information that came out recently where Epstein referenced Trump is the complete focus right now of, I think, a lot of what people are doing, what people are saying. It's kind of just, it's crazy. Here's the way I want to talk about this, though. So first, I do want to break down the bombshell that was released earlier this week. And you might assume the way I'm going to do it is motivated by, a partisan side of the aisle. I promise it's not. If you try to take a step back and just evaluate what's being said, and then how media is shaping what's being said to be something damaging to Trump, it demonstrates why even a President Trump, who would be, I assume, innocent in a lot of this stuff, mostly because Democrats had all the power for years to release all of the Epstein information, and they didn't hit Trump with it, and they tried to hit Trump with everything they could before he won re-election, before he got back into the White House. So there is a 0% chance, I think, in my opinion, that they could ever have had something that they didn't use on Trump. It's the easiest way to defeat this argument before it even gets started. But nonetheless, the actual quote itself, this is what Epstein sent in 2011 to Ghislaine Maxwell. I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked yet is Trump. And I think that's really important that he's saying that that's the dog that hasn't barked yet. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Maxwell says she's been thinking a lot about that as well. The reason this is so significant is that, remember, the person who's saying this is Jeffrey Epstein. Media wants you to believe that Epstein and Trump were hand in hand doing horrible things to children. They want you to believe that, like, they were buddies who would, abuse children together, essentially, as awful as that sounds as an idea. And this text is showing that Epstein has no information about if Trump ever did anything wrong because he's calling him the dog that hasn't barked yet. And if you're scratching your head, you're like, what does that phrase mean? It's a Sherlock Holmes reference, first and foremost, where Holmes figures out a case based on a dog that doesn't bark at somebody. And Holmes goes, well, that means the dog knew the person. The dog was aware of who this person was because the expectation is that the dog would bark. And so the reason I'm trying to explain this, and I know it seems like a deep dive, but I'm trying my best to make it as easy as possible to understand my thinking on this issue. Epstein is showing that he assumed Trump would bark, meaning he assumed Trump would be someone that would go after Epstein and say how terrible of a person he is more than he had by 2011, which I think is fascinating because Epstein, of course, was thrown out of Mar-a-Lago by Trump. There's a bunch of different examples of how they did not get along once some of the things that Epstein was doing probably became somewhat more apparent to the current president of the United States. But if you assume someone would be barking and then you indicate that there might be a reason they're not, maybe the reason is that they're also guilty, you don't actually know anything about them. And how interesting is that, by the way, for how close of a relationship media wants you to think Epstein is, that he's assuming or guessing or hoping is the best way to say it, that maybe Trump is guilty of stuff that Epstein was doing. And of course, that's not true because the other part that media left out in the entire discussion on this is that the victim being referenced is someone that had cleared Trump in sworn testimony on multiple occasions. The person that actually is redacted and not a part of it, but people believe they know who is being referenced at the time because of how it aligns with other things we know publicly. And media doesn't want you to know this part because they want you to ignore the truth of this, is that, again, she said Trump did nothing wrong. And so I just find it so interesting that media would try to reshape a narrative to make Trump appear as guilty as possible to someone who's going to do no homework, read no additional information, not learn anything about this story. And then it sort of demonstrates to you why someone like Trump wouldn't want the release of all the Epstein files, not because he's guilty, but because he knows how media is going to spin and use things that they should know are false. They know that it's false. They know that they're, deceiving the world or whoever is willing to pay attention to them. Look at what's going on with the BBC right now. The BBC finally caught in doing something that it had done a while ago, deceptively editing some of what Trump said to make it seem like he called for violence back on January 6th. I can't believe we're still talking about that. But yes, and the BBC eventually had to apologize. People have quit and been fired. All kinds of things happened, even though the BBC says they're going to fight a lawsuit by President Trump on that. But again, they once again show you that they can't tell you the truth. And they said that their deceptive editing was an accident, which is hilarious. But they said it happened, by the way, for anyone that says that's a conspiracy theory in and of itself. But I just want one more time to say this, that the text that went viral or the information that was bombshell supposed to indicate Trump is actually guilty showed me one thing more clearly than it showed anything else. Epstein himself had no idea, no knowledge, no belief that Trump was actually guilty of anything and expected him to be someone who was more critical of Epstein. And when that didn't happen, Jeffrey Epstein said, I wonder why, to his confidant, his friend, his partner in crime, who's not Trump, but Ghislaine Maxwell. So I just find that fascinating, that that's a true thing that media refused to tell you the way that you should know it. And that, again, the victim they're referencing is someone who had actually directly been asked questions about President Trump and said that he had never done anything wrong with her at all. Maybe, if anything, he might have spent time with someone asking her questions about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know. I'm obviously just, postulating, throwing out a guess there. But I just think it's interesting that if you took a step back and just evaluated this as a person without assuming there's a bad guy going in because of your hatred of one side of the political aisle, what you're actually learning is very different than what media is telling you. They're learning from this, which, of course, we see that all the time. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. Greg Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe. Laugh until your belly aches. Cry because you care so much. And experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Busy around the North Split, Craig. We are looking to westbound 70, and that's slow from Rural Street if you're trying to peel off to southbound 6570, and that's going to be jammed. That's southbound portion from the North Split down to Washington Street because of construction. Now, all this should alleviate by early Monday morning. That's when this particular phase of construction should be done. It's a bridge project. Somebody hit a bridge, you have to fix the bridge. Looking at northbound 65 on the south side, stop and go traffic before Raymond into the South Split. That's construction. And then on the east side, northbound 465 slow from Penn Pike past Fall Creek. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Score huge deals and better sleep at Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale. Their sleep experts will find the perfect bed for your unique needs. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Mostly sunny, a high of 66 today, 46 and overcast right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Do you remember what was happening in America? Families struggling, billions in wasteful spending. But Senator Todd Young fought back. He voted for working family tax cuts, and Senator Young voted to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse, saving taxpayers billions. So call Senator Todd Young at 202-224-5623 and thank him for supporting the Working Families Tax Cut, paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Let's do a popcorn moment brought to you by Boer Home Remodeling. Popcorn moment, thank you very much, sir. This time comes from CPS, Chicago Public Schools, and a report from ABC 7 News saying that CPS teachers, staff spent a crap ton. I almost said a different word. I almost got in a lot of trouble. A crap ton of money on travel, like a ridiculous amount, like millions of dollars. And it actually doubled in costs from last year to this year. And where did they go? All kinds of exotic places. Where did they stay? Fancy, fancy hotels. Let's play a little bit of ABC 7 News' coverage on this, because this is just insane.
After the Office of Inspector General found CPS travel expenditures surged to $7.7 million last year. That's more than double what the district spent 5 years prior before the pandemic. The report states CPS staffers repeatedly exceeded spending limits and expensed trips and activities without approval, including a professional development conference in Las Vegas that more than 600 employees attended between 2022 and 2024, spending more than $1.5 million in district dollars.
$1.5 million to go to Vegas for a bunch of CPS employees. I would have had so much fun on that Vegas trip myself, with the government paying the money and the taxpayers paying the money. And I'm kidding as I say this because of how horrible it is to misuse funds that way. But I'm just envisioning what $1.5 million gets you in Vegas. And I know it's a lot of really bad things. I know it's a lot of things that probably are not. They're probably the stuff you have to confess to your pastor during confession if you're Catholic like I am. But anyway, this is just one of the things. CPS went a bunch of other places. I think they traveled to Dubai at some point. And I love even trying to validate that to someone, being like, well, I'm a Chicago public school teacher, or I'm part of their staff. Obviously, I need to go to Dubai to do a better job in educating the children here in Chicago. This is insane. Every part of this is nuts and crazy, and they got caught, which is great that they get caught. I love that more and more people in all these different places that misuse government dollars are getting caught with Trump in office. I know Trump might not specifically be tied to the Chicago public school thing, but you can't help but notice that this is something that came out that seems to be uniquely damaging of Chicago, Illinois, which is just as corrupt as places get to begin with. But just it's surreal to me. They talked about all different kinds of spending in that, the fancy hotels that everybody stayed at, the amount of staff. And of course, you also assume there might be embezzlement there. Maybe there's a bunch of things that they paid for and didn't actually do, but just got submitted that way. And then the millions of dollars went into other people's pockets. But that to me was kind of amazing. And I guess I'll bring in Matt Baer for a second if he wants to jump in on this. What would you do with $1.5 million and a weekend in Vegas? Because I imagine it would be a pretty fun time.
Have you ever seen Nick Cage in Leaving Las Vegas?
I have, yeah.
Okay, no, I wouldn't do that. Maybe about a decade ago.
No.
What I would do is I would go to the roulette wheel and just bet on zero. $1.5 million, and that would be
1.5 mil on double zero?
Yeah, that would be it.
Okay.
Double zero.
Oh, man.
Because if it hits, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm never going to have $1.5 million, so somebody gave me the money, and I'm not putting it in a savings account. I'm going to gamble it away like a responsible 47-year-old middle-aged man. That's what I'm going to do, yeah.
I mean, if it hits, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. I'd be a talk of the town.
The odds of it hitting are horrible, as you know, and as everybody knows listening, but that doesn't matter. Are you guys playing the Powerball right now, or whatever one is over $1 billion? Which one's over $1 billion?
It'd have to be a Powerball, just Powerball, right? Not the Hoosier Lotto or anything.
No, not the Hoosier Lottery.
That's $1 billion for their lottery.
The fancy one, yeah. Are you guys playing it? Are you buying the tickets when it goes over $1 billion?
No.
Why not?
I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to win. Because I have a better chance of waking up on Mars tomorrow than winning the Powerball. A much better chance. I don't understand. And listen, it's fun when I get a lottery ticket, like when I get them for my birthday or something, like a scratch-off ticket. Everybody can get involved. We're like, woo! And maybe with Powerball numbers, you can gather around the TV and be like, oh, look, I got one of 6 numbers. Hey, I got 13. Yeah. That's fun. I picked that one. We're not going to win, guys. And that's all there is to it. Nobody here in this room or listening right now is going to win the Powerball.
Right,
so therefore, somebody who's on a budget, I can't go out and be spending Powerball ticket money. I don't have that budget.
By the way, real quick, I made that mistake. It is the Mega Millions that's over $1 billion. Someone just sent me a message on social media at Radio Craig Z. If you do want to follow me, I'm happy that WIBC people follow me on my social media pages. And to Mega Millions is over $1 million as of a couple days ago.
Over $1 billion.
Over $1 billion. Sorry. So thank you, Carl. Fixing it again. I will say this though, and this is kind of crazy, Matt. If you're willing to throw $1.5 million on double zero, and you're not willing to buy $1 lottery ticket, that seems like a disparity that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, but that dollar is his dollar, not Chicago Public Schools.
Carl from the cheap seats.
Yeah, well done. I think we all go in on one. Let's buy a ticket together, the 3 of us, and if we win, we'll do something outrageous with the money.
Oh, if we win, I'm taking the ticket. You'll never see me again. That's what's happening there. Listen, it's cool.
Would
it's
steal
fun.
The money from Carl and I.
No, I'm just going to put the money into our podcast. Actually,
Okay, good, wonderful.
listen, Mega Millions, Powerball. I really don't know the difference, and shame on me because I probably should. And if that's somebody's thing, more power to you. I just know when you start that, listen, the house always wins, man. The Powerball's always going to win. The blackjack dealer's always going to win. They're always going to get your money. If not today, tomorrow, they are eventually going to get your money. And I just can't justify the payment. I can't justify that money coming out of my pocket when it should be going to IPL. It's not even IPL anymore. Who is it? It's downtown that takes all our money. AES, the electric company that is getting ready to raise their rates. You know, I need money for that right now. That's just where my priorities are. And if you have money to throw away on gambling, good on you.
That's true. That's fair. I get that. I don't want to throw away any money on gambling myself either, but I'm definitely buying a Powerball ticket or a Mega Millions ticket because darn it, why not?
Right.
Let's get in.
No, I love that attitude. I really do.
I want to split it with you guys too, by the way, because I think that the show, and we have to do one show. We're not allowed to quit our jobs. We all have to do one show after we win the Mega Millions or Powerball together, and then we can do whatever you want. But that's my requirement. If we go in on the ticket, we have to have the day after radio show as proof that we're all now billionaires.
Yeah, when we're doing our last show in Monaco, everybody will know where you hit the Powerball. Be like, this is fun from a yacht.
I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, I think it'd be fantastic.
WIBC just paid for a yacht for us to go do a podcast in Monaco. That'd be awesome.
There we go. It'd be amazing.
That'd be
all right, let's take a break. Matt's got some traffic for us, a lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
All right, Craig, looking at northbound 65 on the south side, stop-and-go traffic before Raymond into the south split because of construction. Westbound 70 slows rural into the north split, then slowdown continues on southbound 65 70 from the north split to Washington Street because of a construction zone that ends early Monday morning. Now on the east side, northbound 465 tightens up after 70 up to East 56. Inbound 69 slow from 106th Street to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to DrexelIN.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel's show this afternoon. It's Beer Sample Friday, the biggest stories in Indy. And did I mention it's Beer Sample Friday, baby? Let's go!
Groceries, gas, just about everything you can buy comes with a tax on it. No matter what, the government's always there to take their cut of your cash. Your money belongs to you. That's why Congressman Jim Baird joined with President Donald Trump to pass historic legislation to ensure you keep more of your hard-earned cash. According to the White House, Congressman Baird's vote means Americans will receive a tax cut, saving over $10,000 every year. They'll get no taxes on tips for workers, and families will receive permanent increases to child tax credits and expanded child care access. That means bigger paychecks, a stronger economy, and more prosperity across our nation. To learn more about how President Trump and Congressman Jim Baird are saving American families money and putting money in your wallet, call Congressman Baird's office at 317-563-5567 or visit baird.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Central Indiana knows tough, but your water shouldn't be. Indiana ranks among the hardest water in the country, and your home is paying the price. Connecticut's non-electric technology means no timer, settings, or headaches. Just water that works, even when the power doesn't. And the twin tank design means clean, soft water 24/7. Connecticut water softeners are the solution, made in the U.S. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com and mention Made in the U.S. for an additional $250 off your purchase of a softener. Connecticut, American-made, Midwest tough.
Struggling with chronic joint pain? Don't want risky surgery or endless pills? QC Kinetics is your answer. Our non-invasive treatment stimulates your body's own biologics and has a fantastic success rate without lengthy recovery or harmful medications. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to QCkinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. Whether it's stem cell, PRP, or a number of other revolutionary therapies, QC Kinetics should be the last call you make. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Press 1 for balances. Press 2 for deposits. Press 3 to scream into the void.
We get it. These days, it's all phone menus and chatbots. But business banking doesn't have to be that way. Bank with Horizon and discover the power of real AI, advisor intelligence. Real people who answer calls, know your business, and go above and beyond to help you succeed. Get started today at horizonbank.com/businessai. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We know that around the holidays, things don't always go as planned. That's why Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So make memories this season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Over 2,000 to choose from. And buy with zero down. Yes, zero down delivers. Every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. It includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. No matter where your plans take you, spread cheer all season long, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations. Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
Any heating and air conditioning problem you've got, we can take care of you. 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Holy cow! Another beautiful play for Indiana.
A new coach, a new team, a new energy in Bloomington.
You're going to see a bunch of guys that are all about winning. They play incredibly hard.
Coach Darren DeVries is ready to write the next chapter in Hoosier basketball.
We love what I think the fans are going to be able to see in terms of how we approach every game.
IU basketball is back. Up next, Incarnate Word, Sunday at 5:30 on the home of the Hoosiers, 93 WIBC. 93 WIBC Mobile News, on the level, on the go.
A Trump-appointed U.S. attorney says that she was attacked. Light rain on radar at the airport, 45 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 67. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. Acting U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, Elena Haba, says people tried to intimidate her Wednesday night.
Haba says despite the alleged attack, she is undeterred in her work. Authorities are seeking a man who brought a bat to Haba's Newark, New Jersey office. The New York Times reporting that the man was barred by security from entering with the bat, and when he returned without it, he was allowed to enter. Then he proceeded to the floor where Haba's office is located and began screaming incoherently. In a social media post, Attorney General Pam Bondi confirmed the individual destroyed property in Haba's office before he fled the scene and said Haba was not harmed, but she vowed to find the suspect and bring him to justice.
That's Fox's Chanley Painter reporting. The FAA is trying to stop further flight reduction since the government shutdown ended this week. Flights were cut due to staffing shortages as air traffic controllers had to work without pay, and more cuts were planned until the shutdown ended. Controllers will now start receiving back pay. The First Lady is leading an effort to improve job and education opportunities for kids raised in foster care.
President Trump signed an executive order launching the Fostering the Future program, an initiative spearheaded by First Lady Melania Trump to help make the transition out of the foster care system easier.
Together, we will illuminate the pathway for today's foster children to become tomorrow's builders.
The First Lady's initiative brings together federal agencies, nonprofits, universities, and private sector leaders to establish scholarships and mentorship programs for foster care children.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House this morning. Indiana is cutting ties with MD Wise, one of the state's longtime Medicaid providers, starting on January 1st. MD Wise will no longer be part of Medicaid plans affecting more than 300,000 Hoosiers who rely on coverage. The company warns that this could cost hundreds of people their jobs and is harmful to patients. If you're looking for a wonderful holiday experience, you could climb aboard a train in Noblesville. Here's Terry Stacy.
Climb aboard the Reindeer Express for a holiday train ride through northern Hamilton County that starts this weekend.
You're going to board onto our 1956 vintage train cars. It's going to be a 75-minute long magical ride. Included in your ticket is hot chocolate, cookies, a visit with Santa, magical elves on board to sing and dance with the kids, and it is just such a fun family experience.
Emily Reynolds, executive director of the Nickel Plate Express, says tickets go fast. Get them today at nickelplate.com. nameplateexpress.org. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
And sports on WIBC, from Eastern Conference champs to now 1-11, including 0-7 on the road. That's where the Indiana Pacers are this morning after getting blown out by the Phoenix Suns 133-98 last night. Head coach Rick Carlisle says there was some good moments, but all in all, they let the game slip away.
The season is very long. There's an awfully long way to go. This has been a tough trip, but we got to get home. We got to get regrouped and figure out Toronto.
And Indiana guard Aaron Nesmith went down in the third quarter with the knee injury. The team says it didn't look as bad as it could have been. Second-ranked Purdue stayed perfect last night with an 87-80 win over 8th-ranked Alabama. Braden Smith scoring 29 points. He had to play with 3 fouls pretty much the entire game. And after the game, he thanked head coach Matt Painter.
Like, he trusted me. I was like, hey, please, like, I'm starting to get in a rhythm. Like, I'm starting to actually feel like I'm in the game, in the flow of the game. Like, keep me in here. Like, and he trusted me, and then he kept me in. I think I went out second half, did I? I don't think I did. So I played the entire second half.
And the game went back and forth. 21 lead changes. Purdue now plays Akron on Sunday. The New England Patriots over the New York Jets. Thursday night football, 27-14. The Patriots are 9-2. And in college football, second-ranked IU looks to stay perfect tomorrow against Wisconsin. 9th-ranked Notre Dame plays number 22 Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
All right, Ryan. Westbound 70 slow from Rural Street into the North Split because of construction, especially tight for people exiting to southbound 6570, which is jammed right now on that southbound side from the North Split down to Washington Street. And this special bridge repair project should be done early Monday morning, and these delays should go away a little bit. Looking at northbound 65 on the south side, stop and go traffic before Raymond Street into the south split south side. Eastbound 465 slow before I-65 over to Arlington Avenue. Inbound 69 slows from 106th Street to 82nd, and on the east side, northbound 465 tightens up from 70 up to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to DrexelIN.com for details. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like right now the temperature is 46 degrees and overcast in downtown Indianapolis, a high of 66 and sunny today. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Whenever I'm out of wandering, chasing a rainbow
Tony Katz, Morning
dream.
News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Indiana Unclaimed brings you our Marketplace segment, where we talk about crazy things that we find on Facebook Marketplace. Matt and Carl hanging out on the show as they do every single morning. Go to unclaimed.gov if you want to get some free cash, some free money, and buy some of these ridiculous things that we find on social media. Including this, an NES controller side coffee table that works like a real Nintendo controller. NES stands for Nintendo Entertainment System. This thing is gigantic and ridiculous if you use it as a controller, but also awesome. This guy actually made it himself, the dude who's selling it. It's being sold for $375. Again, it's a full, it's a full coffee table with glass that goes over the top, but you can take it all apart and actually play video games with the gigantic controller that also looks like a table. What do we think about this?
This reminds me of those little arcade games that were tables in bars when I was a kid. You know, you'd go to these restaurant bars and you'd sit down at a table, mom and dad would order drinks, and then you'd play Pac-Man on the table while people drank. I just remember that vividly from my youth. And it's a big NES controller, and I do love my classic video games. I really do. I think this is kind of cool, but it's not practical at all. You know, I mean, if you want to play a video game, you want a small controller to be able to play. You want to be able to throw it. I mean, half the joy of having an NES controller when you were a kid is to be able to throw it.
Oh, I'd throw this one, by the way. I would if I got mad. No, I do love it. I love everything about it because it definitely shows you. Thank you, Carl. it definitely shows you that the person who made this is absolutely a game nerd, which I know, Matt, you're proud of being one, and I'm proud of being one too, because the amount of time it took to make this thing as a table that actually works, there's no reason that it needed to work. And yet he made it work as an actual controller because darn it, why not? And now he's selling it for almost $400 on Facebook Marketplace because his wife probably told him how stupid this was so many times he couldn't let it go anymore. He had to sell the thing. That, or maybe he made multiple other ones, so he hopefully still has one himself. I'd hate to take it if it's his only giant controller, because I feel like he'll actually be sad as he sells it.
Yeah, he will be, and he won't have anything to play his games on. It's very sad, in fact. And I look at it, hey, this is some craftsmanship, man. This is really cool.
Dude.
It's at Washington and German Church Road, so you make a trip to the east side, you can pick it up, and that seems pretty easy to me, if you live here in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And it is a coffee table with the glass on it. You can spill things all over it, and I guess the thing that turns me off is you have to lift the glass off to actually play the game. So again, the practicality of it's not so much, but if you have like a man cave or a garage of some sort and it's furnished, you can put this in there, and you can have some garage beers and play the games and have a ball with it.
I can't fathom how much the guy who buys this would be excited to have friends come over, if he has friends, hopefully. Have friends come over. Yeah, that was mean. And then just, demonstrate to them that the video game controller works. Because that would be a thing you wouldn't tell him to begin with. You'd start to take apart the coffee table. You'd put the controller in your lap, which he says he does. And then eventually you'd be playing a Nintendo game. And hopefully your friends' minds would be blown. They wouldn't think you're the biggest nerd they've ever met in their entire life. But yet, I just assume that that'll happen. So
everybody take a button.
Yeah, everybody take a button. Somebody will get that joy out there in the world who buys this video game controller for this other guy whose wife will be standing behind him so happy it's out of the house.
Yeah.
I know that that's a thing. I know. Yeah, go ahead.
Because it's an actual coffee table, she can set the divorce papers right on it. In the pen, and it'd be easy to sign and go ahead and finalize that, I think.
You make that joke, but I bet that's the way she got him to sell it. She put the coffee table or the divorce papers on it, and she's like, it's either or. The coffee table goes, or you sign these. And now it's for sale.
Honey, till death do us part doesn't seem very strong right now. I feel like we agreed to disagree, and that's it.
Yeah, honey, I spent hours and hours making this video game controller work and also be a coffee table. Why would I sell it? How dare you? All right, we got to take a break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in. Donnie Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Scrolling all day, clickbait everywhere. But the facts, they're harder to find.
WIBC didn't just report the story, they really got into why it mattered.
CEO of First American Nuclear believes we're heading into America's nuclear renaissance.
In 100 years, all successful nations will be powered by nuclear reactors. For the sake of our children, I'd like the U.S. to be one of them.
Oh, I check the WIBC website before I even open social media.
Online, on social, on air. Stay in the know while you're on the go with 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Senator Jim Banks is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Jim Banks at 202-224-4814 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
All right, Craig, we do have slowdowns, though, approaching the North Split. Westbound 70 from Emerson Avenue into the North Split is slow, especially for those exiting to southbound 6570, which jams from the North Split down to Washington Street because of special construction that ends early Monday morning, hopefully. Northwest side, checking out southbound 465 debris on the road reported right before 86th Street, so watch out for that. Inbound 69 stop-and-go traffic 106th Street, 282nd. East side northbound 465 slow from 72 Penn Pike, and southside crash eastbound 465 at I-65 of blocks the center lane causing stop-and-go traffic back to US 31. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to DrexelIN.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Mostly sunny, a high near 66 for today, 46 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature is brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Fostech is the family-owned business that makes incredible firearms right here in Indiana. Fostech, created by 2 career firefighters and 1 U.S. Air Force veteran, they create special, unique firearms. American craftsmanship meeting cutting-edge technology. Their Origin 12 shotgun is the envy of the industry, and all their products are designed, machined, assembled, and tested right here in Indiana. Follow Fostech on Facebook and Instagram at Fostech_INC. Find a dealer near you or visit Fostech.com. That's Fostech. Fostech.com. Use promo code WIBC for 10% off your order.
Nobody likes a cold shower. LD Smith has hot deals on water heaters. Save up to $300 on a new water heater install.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
At Great Lakes Honda of Fishers, it's Black Friday all month long. Lease a 2025 Ridgeline RTL this week and be entered for your chance to win a TV during Great Lakes Honda of Fishers Black Friday sale.
Ease into game day at the Ultimate Colts Tailgate, happening at the Slippery Noodle, Sunday, November 30th. Doors open at 9:30. Good vibes, great food, and pregame fun with fellow fans.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff out there to talk about. Are we aware of the Housekeeping Olympics? Is that something you've heard of before, Matt? Carl, Housekeeping Olympics that happen every year in Las Vegas.
No, I didn't know.
Okay.
Wow,
They're a real thing. They're in their 35th year. People, mostly women, compete. This is not a rule.
Sexist.
But it's mostly... What's that? What'd you say?
Sexist. No, just kidding.
It's not a rule, but it's mostly ladies who show up to compete in this thing. They do all kinds of cleaning activities. My favorite one is when you mop around certain cones in a race, and then you try to be the first person that's mopped your area successfully. Anyway, the internet is livid about the existence of this thing. And I want to say again, people willingly sign up to participate in something that's evidently like silly and stupid and also kind of fun, the Housekeeping Olympics. But the internet thinks this is a dystopian society that shouldn't exist, and they should end this, even though people want to partake in the housekeeping Olympics. What say you, Matt Bear?
I'm saying that I'm not offended by the event itself. I'm offended by the level of events here, just mopping around cones. I think you should have to trap a rat in a basement, to be able to prove your housekeeping prowess, or maybe a wire, do some electric work or something. To me, that's housekeeping. That's heavy duty stuff right there. So what other events are there? I mean, you mop around the cones, you do baseboards. I'm not understanding all the different events and how you would
go through them. That's totally fine.
How would you quantify who's the best done in time? I mean, how does
a lot
this
of it
work?
is racing. There's a bed making race. There's a vacuum relay race. There's a mop race, as I just said a second ago. A buffer pad toss is another one that exists. The toilet paper toss is also one that I find pretty amusing. Executive challenges, a challenge for managers, which includes navigating an obstacle course on a motorized floor cleaner. So it gets pretty fancy. And then finally, my favorite, spirit dance, the performance that showcases the team's dancing ability at the end of all of the other things that are housekeeping Olympic events. But that's just some of them. But the thing that I love is people actively signed up for this. And you know what's actually even funnier? My wife would crush this thing. She is so good at this stuff. She is the cleaner in our house. I am not. I'm not saying that to be sexist. I'm saying that because it's true. She would do such a good job, especially in the competitions where you have to clean everything. And I would do a terrible job in those moments where you missed a spot over here, you missed a spot over there. That's me. That's not her. I feel like I should tell my wife about this, even though the internet's going to be mad at me.
I think it's interesting that people went straight to sexism here, because I didn't even think that, because I've always done the housekeeping duties around my house, even when I lived in a woman. Yeah, that's always been me. So I wasn't even thinking that. I don't immediately correlate housekeeping with a female. I just don't, because I'm the one heterosexual man who's always doing the housekeeping chores, and that's the way it's been all my life. My dad's done it, his generation, the boomer generation, and he's always doing the laundry, helping out with the house. He's doing all those things. My brother is the one changing the diapers, drawing the baths. It's just in my family, that's what the men do. They help out every way they can, and there aren't a designated list of chores for male or female. We all just share. So I don't know. I would, more power to your wife and everything else, but I think it's disappointing. Just this fun little thing is sexism.
I think that's the part. Since I know I just threw this topic at you guys, the video, it's mostly women who are competing, so that's where the internet was reacting like, how dare these ladies be used in this competition they signed up for, and they're excited to win because again they wanted to do it. The people there are having fun. By the way, in related news, I would love to be on Supermarket Sweep. Do you remember that show from back in the day?
Oh, baby, that was a good one.
Wouldn't that be fun? That would be the most fun thing ever. And I feel like this is the same vein sort of thing. They're cleaning stuff. I'd be shopping in a supermarket. Who cares if you're a dude or a chick? If you want to do it, if that's something you want to sign up for, and they're going to have a winner at the end of it, come on. And plus, as I said, my wife would be a shoo-in to crush this thing.
Well, again,
I would put
you
a
were
bunch of money
saying
on her in Vegas.
Signing up is the key here. This isn't the Running Man, where you're arrested and then you have to get through a gauntlet of Fireball, Iceman, Sub-Zero. You don't have to do that. You're actually making the choice. And the events are fun-loving. They're light. It's not like go clean the public bathroom at a bus station, or anything of that nature. It's just a fun competition that we don't need to get excited about, other than the fact that somebody's having fun with it.
By the way, did you reference The Running Man because that's a new movie that's coming out?
I might have to go see it, but I'm gonna be disappointed, man. I know I'm going to be. I saw all the Ghostbusters remakes, and the one that had the Ghostbusters, a legendary comedian, Harold Ramis, Egon Spengler, just an incredible role. And they had him in there as a ghost, and I thought that was kind of cool because he already passed at the time of the making of the movie.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. Other than that, I was just like, no, man, Paul Rudd, come on, unless he's a Ghostbuster. But I'm going to be disappointed in The Running Man, I can already tell.
I don't know. Arnold liked it. Arnold Schwarzenegger seemed to be a big fan of the new Running Man, according to Glenn Powell. Huh?
He's got to say that. He can't say, I thought the movie sucked.
No, he could. Come on. Arnold could say whatever he wanted. He'd be like, I hated it. Terrible movie. Don't go. That'd be fantastic.
It reminds me of the gym when we had a bunch of women. Sorry.
I don't want to be back.
You're a
Anyway,
man. Right.
That was a terrible joke. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Greg Collins filling in. Tony Katz, the Morning News. Matt's got your traffic.
Yeah, Craig, looking at eastbound 465 and I-65. Crash on the shoulder. And stop traffic back to US 31 for a 3-minute delay. Southbound 6570 stop from the north split down to Washington because of construction, and that backs up inbound 70 before Rural Street into the north split. On the east side, northbound 465 slow from 70 up to East 56th Street, and southbound lanes slow from Washington to Brookville Road. And on the north side, eastbound 465 slowing down Keystone 269, inbound 69 tight from 82nd Street to 465. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to DrexelIN.com for details. I'm Matt Bear at WIBC Traffic.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new 2026 Corolla, $219 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, 249 dealer doc, 36 months RAV4 model 4432, 39 months Corolla model 1852, 29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/30.
The government is back open.
93 WIBC.
But the arguments go on.
Officials argue the president's economic agenda is making life more affordable.
What happens next?
Almost 1,000 flights canceled again today. Nearly 500 delays.
Happens here.
Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is joining Democrats in forcing a House vote to release the Epstein files.
I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files.
Another update is just minutes away.
The House will vote on that next week in the search for more information and clients.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
The biggest Black Friday sale ever is going on now at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Save up to $800 on top brand mattresses from Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Sealy. Indiana-made Smith Brothers of Bern is holding their factory-authorized sale with the lowest price in 2025 and 50% off all Flex Deal and Lazy Boy. Free delivery, cash discounts, interest-free financing. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
But I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary. Ends 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
You've built an extraordinary life. Don't let the unexpected slow you down. Offering heart, lung, and vascular scans for people aged 40 and up who meet certain criteria, Franciscan Health's $49 screenings could detect early signs of heart and vascular disease or lung cancer before any symptoms appear. No physician referral needed. Don't wait. A quick scan could save your extraordinary life. See if you qualify for a $49 screening at franciscanhealth.org/screening bundles.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. is the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
The best AI for your business isn't artificial. It's advisor intelligence. With Horizon, you get real people to help you drive real growth. Open your business account today at horizonbank.com/businessai. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org.
Kendall and Casey.
Trying to get out of the grocery store to purchase anything that resembles a week's worth of food. Between the Walmart and Costco trip, it was like almost $280. How is this sustainable for most normal people?
Well, you're going to have to start taking a 50-year loan for groceries. And, of course, we've all got those utility bills.
Are they high? Is there something going on with utilities?
Kendall and Casey. Weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, why hundreds of thousands of people will lose medical coverage soon in Indiana, why dozens of teachers walked out of a school board meeting recently, what jurors heard in the trial of a man accused of killing a cop, and what the Indiana Pacers did last night. From the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
It's a Make America Affordable Again agenda. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Now that the government shutdown is over, Vice President Vance tells Fox's Hannity.
I know that there are a lot of people out there, Sean, who are saying things are expensive. And we have to remember they're expensive because we inherited this terrible inflation crisis from the Biden administration.
Yesterday, the White House announced the removal of tariffs on certain imports out of El Salvador, Argentina, Ecuador, and Guatemala as part of framework agreements aimed to lower the prices of goods, including bananas, coffee, and cocoa. The expectation is that retailers will pass on the cost savings to consumers.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House. The shutdown cost the economy an estimated $90 billion, slowed growth, and stopped inflation and unemployment data collection, leading to uncertainty about future interest rate cuts, prompting the biggest sell-off on Wall Street in a month, and Dow futures down another 200 points this morning. Air travel isn't back to normal yet, but Fox Business Network's Grady Trimble reports from Reagan National in D.C.
Air traffic controllers are coming back to work in large numbers. The flight mandated cuts are still in place at 6% at 40 major airports across the country, including this one. But the good news is that there are fewer delays and cancellations so far today than there have been in about a week or so. We're looking at around 500 flights delayed, around 600 of them canceled.
There are fresh casualties of war in Ukraine's capital. Another Russian barrage of drones and missiles hit Kyiv, doing damage, starting fires, killing 5 people, wounding at least 34, as Ukraine deals with a $100 million corruption scandal.
One of 7 charged suspects, a former business partner of Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. It was Zelensky last summer who, in the middle of this investigation, tried to weaken the anti-corruption bodies, worried Ukraine could be falling back to past corrupt ways. And it comes when Kyiv depends on billions of dollars of support from foreign countries in its fight with Russia. Its reputation is critical.
That's Fox's Greg Palcott. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What forecasters are saying about the state's drought status. Light rain showing up on radar downtown and at the airport, but that's going to move out soon. 45 degrees on Monument Circle. We're going up to 67. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. Forecasters say much of the state is still in a drought, and with little rain expected this weekend, we won't see our next chance for showers for a few days.
Got another system moving through, and it looks like for now our better chances are going to be Monday night into Tuesday and potentially beyond that.
Casey Fuson at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says the weather should be nice if you're heading to the high school football games tonight or the Monon Bell Classic tomorrow. Indiana is cutting ties with MD Wise, one of the state's longtime Medicaid providers, starting on January 1st, and that will result in more than 300,000 Hoosiers losing medical coverage. The company says this could also cost hundreds of people their jobs. They called the move unfair and a violation of the contract that they signed with the state just last year. The pool of candidates trying to fill openings in the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission has shrunk. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
The state's Utility Regulatory Nominating Committee announcing this week that after holding more than 20 interviews over the last month, they've dwindled down the list of applicants from 47 to 9. 3 of those 9 finalists will be chosen by Governor Mike Braun to sit on the IURC and oversee electric, gas, water, and telecommunication rates across the state. There's no deadline for Governor Braun to make his selections, so it's unclear how soon he'll fill the seats on the commission. You can see what 9 made the cut in a story posted on WIBC.com. Jarrett Lewis, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Day 3 of the Eddie Jones trial starts pretty soon. Jurors will dive back into the 23 crash and chase that killed Indiana State Trooper Aaron Smith in Plainfield. So far, the jurors have seen body cam footage of Jones panicking. They've also heard from former Superintendent Doug Carter, who doubts that Jones is even sorry for what he did. And they also watched the high-speed chase and crash that killed Smith. Teachers in the Hamilton Southwestern School Corporation are not happy with their pay. John Herrick explains why.
A new contract was drawn up that says there's a teacher pay freeze. Combine that with higher health care costs, and that essentially amounts to a pay cut, which President of the Hamilton Southeastern Education Association, Tyler Zerby, calls unacceptable. On Wednesday, the board refused to talk about it, so Zerby and the teachers held their own meeting in the parking lot.
So us being able to use our voice and to congregate in this way is a way for us to continue to, one, show how much we support each other, but also to show our collective power as teachers.
The group has until Saturday to reach an agreement with the school administration before a mediator has to step in. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
College basketball number 2, Purdue is still unbeaten after going into Alabama and beating number 8 Alabama 87-80, and the Pacers are 1-11 after falling to the Phoenix Suns 133-98 last night. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. At 8:05, traffic on the 5s. What are you watching for us, Matt Bear?
Right now, we're checking out a crash on the south side, Ryan. It's eastbound 465 at 65. Pushed out of the center lane over to the shoulder, but still slow past South Keystone Avenue. Northbound 65 on the south side, stop-and-go traffic after Southport Road up to 465, and then we slow again before Raymond into the south split. Westbound 70 drags after Rural into the north split for those exiting to southbound 65-70 because that is jammed on the southbound side from the north split to Washington Street because of special construction. That should end early Monday morning. Eastbound 70 tight from Harding into the south split. That's a delay of 4 minutes. Inbound 69 slows after 100 at 6th Street, 282nd. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop Black Friday sale now at Grand Appliance to save on LG and other top appliance brands. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand showroom for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does the weather look?
Hey, good morning. We've got a few spotty showers out there right now, but we'll look for partly cloudy conditions this afternoon. It's going to be very mild with highs right around 63 tonight. Mainly cloudy skies. Lows will fall into the lower 50s. And then on Saturday, we'll look for mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be mild and breezy with gusts near 30 miles per hour. Now, we can't rule out a stray shower. We'll go with highs near 70. And then back to reality on Sunday with temperatures into the mid-50s.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now it is 8:07 Friday morning. Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. I saved this audio till now. I don't want to talk about the Epstein stuff all day today. Yes, there is a brand new vote. Some people on the Republican side of the aisle are going to help Democrats force for the release of Epstein files. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's fine. I do think that it's inevitable that media and also the Democrats will pretend as though a bunch of the stuff says stuff that it doesn't actually say, essentially meaning that they're going to make Trump sound more guilty than he is, which they've already been doing. And I walked through that a little bit earlier in the show today, how I think it's kind of ridiculous that the tweet that went viral the other day to the left indicates Trump is guilty, when to me it actually indicates that even Epstein had no idea if Trump had ever done anything bad with anyone, which means he likely hadn't, because media wants to portray that as two buddies that did horrible things and abused children. And the reality is that Epstein himself didn't seem to know any idea at all why Trump wasn't barking louder, was the dog that hadn't barked in all the different stuff that was swirling around him back in 2011. But anyway, let me move on from that in a way. Stephen A. Smith is complaining about the Epstein files only the way that Stephen A. Smith could complain. And so while I don't usually agree with Stephen A. Smith on some things, there are times that I do agree with him. And again, nobody says it quite like he does. So here he is ranting about why didn't Biden release any of this information when they were in charge for 4 years? Why is this something that Democrats care about now and didn't before? We all know the answer to that. We all believe that the reason why is it's a distraction, that it's absolutely being created to undercut the authority of Trump. None of it is actually to get the truth out there, because if that was the case, they would have done it a while ago. But here's Stephen A.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that the Epstein files were in existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration.
Get him, Stephen.
You were there for 4 years?
Yeah, they were.
How come you didn't open it as a Democratic Party then?
I have answers.
What am I missing?
You're missing a lot of stuff. First and foremost, you're missing the fact that it doesn't indict Trump enough. I think that's obviously the first, thing you take away from this, is that if Trump could have been found guilty of anything within those files, with everything else they were doing to Trump in courtrooms and then literally people trying to kill him, that would have been made public. But it wasn't. Now it's being used as a distraction because there's a belief that Trump doesn't really want the information to come out. And I think that he's shown before that he thinks the entirety of this thing does push us away from anything valuable. And I think he's right about that. Epstein has been dead for a while. I would like to know if there are people who are on it that are, influential and important, and I believe they exist. By the way, Alan Dershowitz, the person who, represented, I think, Epstein at one point, said that there is actually a list of people that Epstein had named that are in some way connected to him. But again, all of this information will have to be taken with a giant grain of salt, because Democrats had it for a while, chose to do nothing with it, and now they're trying to push for it. But there's nothing better than Stephen A. Smith yelling stuff. Here, let's play it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that the Epstein files were in existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration.
Yeah, they were.
You were there for 4 years?
What's going on?
How come you didn't open it as a Democratic Party then?
I love how long he takes that pregnant pause, by the way. That is really well done in the world of media. But yeah, no, there's a lot of reasons why they didn't do it then. A couple other quick things. President Trump introduced Robert F. Kennedy Jr. As the extremely non-controversial secretary, which is hilarious. Here, let's play this audio real quick. I did like this moment with Trump.
Here's Scott Bessent. Scott, thank you very much. An extremely non-controversial secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. But he's right.
It's fantastic that he did that. And then finally, one other moment with Trump that I just thought was really funny. After signing an executive order that actually Melania Trump was a big part of, fostering the future for American children and families, helping foster kids get a leg up after going through the foster care system, Trump yelled, "No auto pen," which is a pretty funny moment, too. Clapping, applauding, proud of him, and then listen.
No auto pen.
It's amazing. And people hate this guy for some reason when stuff like that is, I just think, genuinely hilarious. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Stephen A. Smith's still upset, as far as I understand. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
We know that around the holidays, things don't always go as planned. That's why Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So make memories this season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Over 2,000 to choose from. And buy with zero down. Yes, zero down delivers. Every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. It includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. No matter where your plans take you, spread cheer all season long. knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations. Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Are you ready to put joint pain behind you and get to a place where persistent pain doesn't control your life? The dedicated orthopedic experts at Community Health Network are here to turn those goals into a reality. With personalized treatment options that include robotic-assisted surgery, we'll help you feel your best so you can get back to enjoying your hobbies again. Learn more about your care options at ecommunity.com/ortho. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Do you remember what was happening in America? Families struggling, billions in wasteful spending. But Senator Todd Young fought back. He voted for working family tax cuts, and Senator Young voted to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse, saving taxpayers billions. So call Senator Todd Young at 202-224-5623 and thank him for supporting the Working Families Tax Cut. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
JMV here. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Miss M's Home and Garden. Join them Saturday, November 22nd and Sunday, November 23rd for their annual holiday open house. Stroll through the garden shop to shop the festive decor, enjoy food samples, and sign up for giveaways and door prizes with your purchase. Fresh cut trees, greenery, wreaths, porch pots, and more will fill the greenhouse. Bring your family and friends to enjoy the festivities. Miss M's is located on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
All right, Craig, looking at the south side, eastbound 465 to 65, crash at the interchange. Going eastbound, everything is open except for a shoulder, and we don't have any delay there. But a slowdown continues on northbound 65 after Southport Road up to 465. That's because of construction, and the same with northbound 65 before Raymond into the south split. That is slow because of that construction zone. Eastbound 70, 4-minute delay. Harding to the south split. Inbound 70, slow after rural for those exiting to southbound 65-70, which is jammed right now from the north split down to Washington Street because of a construction zone that should end early Monday morning. A big truck struck a train bridge, and that's what they're fixing here this week. Traffic sponsored by Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. A Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. It's Black Friday all month long. Lease a 2025 Ridgeline RTL this week and be entered for your chance to win a TV during Great Lakes Honda of Fishers Black Friday sale. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Mostly sunny, a high of 66. Right now it is 48 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-798-9512. 800-798-9512. 800-798-9512. That's 800-798-9512.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
Tony Katz, the morning news. 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this very program. Jelly Roll, the rapper, musician guy, was on his Australian leg of his musical tour when he had stomach issues. That's how I'm going to say this. Apparently, it inspired Jelly Roll to buy him. Thank you, Carl. Apparently, it inspired Jelly Roll to buy himself a squatty potty. If we don't know what that is, it's something that allows you to prop your legs up while using the restroom. And then his wife discovered him putting it together, and he put this video up on social media of the missus asking him what he was doing as the famous musician was building a squatty potty inside his house. I find this wildly amusing. By the way, a lot of profanity in the original version of this audio. We've cleaned it up, so we have the non-profane version to play for you.
What are you doing? Trying to build a squatty potty. A bamboo flip stool squatty potty. Well, it's got two heights. How do you kink your colon with squatty potty? Listen, I got a kinky colon. My colon is kinky. Why are we pretending you even know what you're doing? I'm trying, y'all. Okay, what? A little support. I love you. I've been with you 10 years. I've never seen you build one thing.
Yeah, and he's building a squatty potty. I love the fact that he kept saying he loved her as she was getting mad about stuff, because that's the right way to do it. When she's getting mad, just say you love him. Matt, what do you got on this?
Is that what you married fellows do whenever you're getting yelled at by your wife? Just say, I love you.
Yeah. As much as possible, man. In that you look pretty today and I love you.
I'm writing this down for when I find that you say, I love you, when she's yelling at you, because she will yell at me a lot.
She will.
First off, a squatty potty. Does everybody know what a squatty potty is? It's the thing that you put your feet on so you can have a natural release of the...
It spreads things out a little more.
Oh, like the bowticular area.
Bowticular.
Yeah, that
Yes,
area. And you put your feet up on it, and it makes everything natural, as I understand it. I know this because here in the fourth floor unisex studio bathroom,
there is one.
There happens to be a squatty potty right
you guys
underneath
have
the
a
sink.
squatty potty at WIBC?
Yeah, because WIBC cares about our bowel health.
Sure. That's very nice of them.
It's part of the healthcare plan.
Forced to colonoscopies, too, every 2 months. Part of the whole deal. Here's the thing that I'm really confused on. It's a piece of plastic. Okay,
right.
It's just a chunk of plastic that you put your feet on, and really anything could be a squatty potty. You could bring a buddy of yours into the bathroom, just put your feet on their back. It's really all that there is to it. I'm trying to illustrate how simple these things actually are. So why the hell are you building a squatty potty in your bathroom?
Because he's Jelly Roll.
So, well, here, hold on.
Yes, he's awesome. He's a great dude. Yeah, I know.
Right. I'll explain it. He's building a version that actually attaches to the toilet and can be, like, put up and put down like the toilet seat. So his version isn't just the thing you roll in that's just like something you stand on. His version connects to his toilet, his squatty potty.
I'm picturing one of those wheelchairs attached to a staircase that just kind of glides up electronically and then back down.
Perfect.
And okay, I mean, and that's something that's necessary. But again, but the squatty potty, that's not where you go. You still use the toilet. So why do you need it to do anything else other than rest your feet on? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
Now I'm going to go to Carl's answer. It's because he's Jelly Roll. That's why he gets the fancier one and not just the regular one. But yes, Jelly Roll was building a squatty. I just love that the wife has to discover it too, because it's not the kind of thing you tell her. You don't tell her I'm buying a squatty potty because I've had some bowel things. You just buy one and you just put it in the house. And then you see what happens next.
You save that for the second date. you don't tell her that until you're on the second date of Bodie.
Now, you never have any conversations about that whatsoever.
Speaking of which, so if you're dating and you have a squatty potty, do you hide that?
Oh, hell yes. Yeah.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
You hide the toilet paper. You hide the man wipes. You hide the squatty potty. You hide the porn. And you wipe your computer.
And you make sure that the toilet bowl is clean.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You do everything you can. You hide for as long as possible. That's what we all do as men.
6 weeks later, when those butterflies go away, you can leave all that out. By the way. It's free game then. Yeah.
By the way, just other news out there, just a random other thing that I thought was interesting. Bigger is better is a brand new study that's out there. It's not what you think I'm talking about. Getting someone a giant present is more exciting than a small present. This is obvious. This is something people said, even though people prefer to buy little stuff. We want to buy little stuff for other people. It's easier to wrap. It's easier to give someone. But buying someone something gigantic is always going to be more exciting until you actually open it and then find out the gigantic thing isn't really all that fun. But I thought that was interesting, that if you want to impress somebody, buy them a giant present.
You know, I'm glad you brought this up. I had my niece's birthday party over the weekend. last week, and I know it's Friday now. All my days run together, I swear to God.
It's fine.
Yeah, but I had my niece's birthday party. She turned 4, and all the gifts, I got her like this assortment of small gifts, okay?
Yeah.
And one of them was like a veterinarian kit because,
Whoa.
yeah, well, for a 4-year-old, it was a toy kit.
Really appropriate.
Yeah, her mom's a nurse, and it comes with like a stuffed dog, just this tiny stuffed dog, and everybody else was buying her this really cool Frozen stuff because the theme of the birthday party was Frozen. And I come in with this veterinarian kit. It's so small, it's so simple, and damn it, Uncle Matt wins the birthday, baby.
Yeah, you did.
She is carrying this dog underneath her arm for the rest of the time and not doing the playhouse things or anything or even working with the veterinary kit I got her. But that little small gift was better,
Yeah. No, I think it is actually like once you find out that it's something you actually want, because the big gift is never really as good as it seems like it's going to be, which I guess means bigger isn't actually better. We just assume it is, and then you find out that it's not. But that is the study. That is the information that's out there in case you want to use it for Christmas, for any holiday whatsoever. Make someone excited by buying them something gigantic, and then disappointed when they open it to find out it's not the awesome thing that they want it to be. It's an odd way to go about it. One other quick thing before we take a break that I just thought was also interesting. The best time to eat Thanksgiving dinner was another study that was out there. Anyone want to guess at what time of day that is?
I would have to say, because you have to digest and whatever before you get back on the road. So I'm saying at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, Thanksgiving dinner. Boom.
You're about right. They say that about 2 p.m. is the right time to eat Thanksgiving dinner because you need at least 3 hours to digest before you get back on the road, before you do anything else. So you want to be on the road by 6, 7 o'clock. You want to be eating by 2, 3 o'clock so you have that extra time to sit around and pass out before doing anything else. 2 o'clock is too early, man, for Thanksgiving dinner, though. I feel like maybe just sleep there. Like maybe whoever invites me to Thanksgiving, I'm just going to sleep at their house this time, even if it's not family, even if it's just a friend of mine. My wife and I now live in Texas. We used to live other places. So our Thanksgiving plan is with friends more so than family this year. And I think I'm just going to sleep at their home. I think that's the plan I'm going to do going in.
We had Thanksgiving dinner when I was younger and like in my 20s. And I remember some of these dinners wouldn't start until 6 or 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Because the pre-party was it was prolific, man. And there was arguing and all the hellishness that can come with putting all the family together at once when you haven't seen each other in a while. But, man, it was a good time, But we would eat late a lot of times. I mean, this was, when I was a little kid, we'd eat early for the grandparents, and a lot of times after they left, then the party would start. But as we got older and older, we got more immature with our age. That's when we would start the party and keep the party going for a long time. But yeah,
I like a later Thanksgiving dinner. I do. I think it's better. Although again, not if you have to travel anywhere. So that's why I guess I'm going to tell my wife when she gets home today that I'm going to sleep at our friend's house, and then we're just going to see how that goes. And I'm just going to pass out on the couch, and hopefully no one wakes me up. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up, a lot to get to. Matt's got traffic for you.
Speaking of the Lebanon rest stop, southbound 65 looking pretty good in that area here at the moment. Northbound 465 on the east side slow from Penn Pike up to East 56th Street. Southbound 65, 70 jams. North split down to the Washington Street exit because of construction. And northbound 65 stop and go after Southport Road up to 465 because of road construction. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to drexelin.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Renaming the Department of Defense could cost billions.
Join us Friday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
We have the best technicians in the business here at Family. They'll take care of you every time. 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction, so she would find properties that we could fix up and resell or rent.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. Health is not good. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job. James was very cordial and, like I say, responded to our phone calls and kept in contact with us. So he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me. It's important.
Yeah, James followed through on what he said. Did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Other companies make broken promises, but at Simple Quarters, we keep our word. Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Right now at Tom Roush Lincoln, get a 2025 Lincoln Corsair for $4,000 off plus 0% APR. 2025 Lincoln Aviator for $5,000 off plus 0%. Or 2025 Lincoln Nautilus for $4,500 off. Also 0% APR. So come get that new Lincoln at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fisher.
Corsair MSRP 51,720. Aviator MSRP 72,225. Nautilus MSRP 71,60. 0% APR for 48 months on qualifying Lincolns. Good through 12/1/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
The Indianapolis real estate market is strong, but not easy. Now is a good time to sell only if you hire a real estate team that knows how to aggressively market your home, like Mark Dietel Realty. You want a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietel is the real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Troy in Connorsville said, I was a real estate challenge. I wanted to sell my home over market value and buy a home near my favorite hunting area with land and no HOA close to town. Miraculously, the Mark Dietel team did it all. They found the perfect new home at a great price and sold my current home in 10 days for $10,000 over list price. Call the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended. The agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. That's Mark Dietel. Call today, 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to drexelin.com for details.
Hammer and Nigel.
The Secret Service announced that they have dismantled basically an electronic spying ring, 300 SIM servers, and 100,000 SIM cards. This network that was broken up would have the ability to text everybody in the United States within a couple of seconds.
Yeah, no arrests concerns me, but the fact that they caught it is awesome.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The shutdown is over, but airport delays continue this morning. There's still light rain on radar, 45 degrees on Monument Circle. Today's high 67. The rain I talked about is moving east towards Cincinnati and should be gone in about an hour. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. Fox Business's Grady Trimble is at Reagan National Airport in Arlington, Virginia this morning with the latest on how airlines are bouncing back after staffing shortages led to delays and cancellations.
The government's back open. Air traffic controllers are coming back to work in large numbers. The flight mandated cuts are still in place at 6% at 40 major airports across the country. But the good news is that there are fewer delays and cancellations so far today than there have been in about a week or so. Staffing levels at air traffic control facilities quickly bounced back and almost immediately returned to normal yesterday.
At Indianapolis's airport this morning, 12 flights are delayed. The BBC says it will apologize to President Trump over how it edited a documentary about him, but it won't be paying any money. Trump's lawyer had threatened a $1 billion lawsuit, saying that the documentary that aired last year was misleading. The lawyer demanded an apology and then a retraction and some damages to make up for it, but the BBC says they won't pay any money. They will say they're sorry. A college in a California community college, athletic director Thursday was shot on campus.
Just before noon local time Thursday in Oakland, California, former Laney College football coach John Beam was shot multiple times, the second shooting at an Oakland school in as many days. John Beam is the athletic director at Laney College. He became publicly known on a Netflix series, a documentary called Last Chance U. The Laney Eagles 2020 season was featured on the show, whose focus was to highlight athletes looking to turn their lives around while at junior colleges.
That's Fox's Jared Max reporting. Back to the weather. Forecaster Casey Fuson at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says this weekend started out a little wet, but she doesn't expect the rain to stick around.
Originally, we were saying some rain chances this weekend, but it looks like that has been pushed off to the east, and so our next good chance of rain is not going to be until Monday night.
And she said it's still too early to predict exactly how much rain will fall, but if you're going to the high school football games tonight, it'll be pretty nice. If you're looking for a wonderful holiday experience, you could climb aboard a train in Noblesville. Here's Terry Stacy.
Climb aboard the Reindeer Express for a holiday train ride through northern Hamilton County that starts this weekend.
You're going to board onto our 1956 vintage train cars. It's going to be a 75-minute long magical ride. Included in your ticket is hot chocolate, cookies, a visit with Santa, magical elves on board to sing and dance with the kids, and it is just such a fun family experience.
Emily Reynolds, executive director of the Nickel Plate Express, says tickets go fast. Get them today at nickelplateexpress.org. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
And sports on WIBC. Number 2 Purdue went into Tuscaloosa last night and edged number 8 Alabama 87-80. Braden Smith scored 29 points and said the rowdy Alabama student section kept him fired up.
Obviously some games like it's not there or not as much as it was tonight or any other given night, but that's what I always try to do. Every night I try to go out there and find some way to have that competitive edge and that chip on my shoulder to go compete.
Trey Kaufman-Wren made his season debut with 19 points and 15 rebounds, and Purdue grabbed its first road win over a top 10 non-conference team in more than 40 years. The Indiana Pacers dropped its 6th straight game, losing to the Phoenix Suns 133-98. The team also says Aaron Nesmith, fresh off a $40.4 million extension, injured his knee. College football, second-ranked IU looks to stay unbeaten tomorrow when they play Wisconsin. Kickoff at noon. The Hoosiers are 10-0. Ninth-ranked Notre Dame visits number 22 Pitt tomorrow, trying for its 8th straight win. And Thursday night football, the New England Patriots got over the New York Jets 27-14. The Pats are 9-2. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, check it out. 71st east of Georgetown Road. A crash reported. Southside eastbound 465. Crash cleanup continues at I-65. It's on the shoulder, so not delaying us at all here at the moment. Northbound 65 Southside. Stop and go before Raymond into the south split because of construction. Westbound 70 still a little bit slow for those exiting to southbound 6570 because that's jammed because of construction. From the north split down to Washington Street, that's a bridge fixing project that should be over early Monday morning. I'll let you know. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to DrexelIN.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Mostly sunny, a high of 66 today, 48 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Tony Katz, Good Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. I didn't mention it all show, which shows just how significant it actually is. But the government shutdown is over. They voted. Things are going to change. Everything will be better. I guess that's what I'm told. Here's what's funny about this to me. ABC News and many other places tried to do a collection of all the harm that was done during the shutdown. They went point by point to tell you, how bad this was or that was. And some of their biggest numbers, the numbers that make people most convinced that the government shutdown actually had a huge impact on Main Street, will inevitably be reversed. That's my favorite part. 0.8%. That is one of the bigger numbers that they shared. I know that doesn't sound like a very big number because, darn it, it's not. But that's the amount of gross domestic product that was, quote, lost during the shutdown. Annualized inflation-adjusted gross domestic product, I should say. But almost all of it will be regained because the vast majority of it is from lack of wages going to government workers who will now get back pay and then will spend that back pay. So 0.8% of the 1.6% GDP growth year over year likely to be recovered, even though that's, again, one of their biggest numbers. $11 billion. The amount of inflation-adjusted GDP permanently lost in the government shutdown, according to ABC and others, mostly because of furloughed workers who didn't get the amount of money from the government that they're supposed to get. They got a fraction of it because, darn it, we don't need them. While I say all this, the thing that's most apparent to me is how little of an actual long-term damage, how little actual long-term damage was done by the government being shut down for the longest time in the history of our country. And shouldn't that be screaming something to a whole lot of Americans about how much money we waste in Washington, D.C., how many employees aren't actually needed, how much the government can function without, so much excess spending, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not trying to defend anybody for shutting the government down. Democrats did it for a reason that they often ridicule when they're the ones in power and Republicans are the ones threatening to or doing it. Democrats showed just how hypocritical they can be to a degree that you don't often see. I mean, you see hypocrisy every day in the world of politics, but this one is chef's kiss good, that the side of the aisle that has long ranted that holding the government hostage in order to negotiate with a president that you don't like is wrong, did it for the longest time in the history of the country. That there's something amazing about that simple sentence, that simple statement. But really, the biggest takeaway for me is how little long-term impact any of this will have, which is something that Republicans often said when they threatened to shut the government down. And one of the biggest reasons why Republicans did not play ball when Democrats demanded that they do something or else. The government shutdown demonstrated how flawed of a plan that is to begin with, mostly because, again, Main Street, I think, has realized we don't need as much government as we have in this country right now. We need very, very little compared to what we currently have. One other thing I will say about it, though, and I just think that's interesting, now the pivot will be about healthcare and Obamacare and all of that stuff. And the fear-mongering of mainstream or left-leaning media is that if the subsidies that were put in place because things were terrible during the pandemic and whatnot, and they allowed a lot of these subsidies to sunset themselves. Democrats put that plan in place to begin with. But anyway, if all of that goes away, the fear-mongering is that healthcare costs will skyrocket for anyone that's on a federal Obamacare plan. And they're probably right about that. But the funny thing is, I think healthcare costs would also plummet for people that aren't on that version of a plan because Obamacare itself has made healthcare tremendously more expensive, not less. They usually miss that detail when they talk about how healthcare, costs will change. It won't be really bad for everybody. And essentially, it might actually cause a whole lot of people to not want Obamacare even more than they didn't want it before, and then have it fully go away. And that's the thing Democrats don't want to see happen. Republicans have thrown their own proposals forward for what we might actually do in place of Obamacare. I think even like federal funding in some way directly to people and not through insurance agencies is one of the better ideas out there if we still have to spend government dollars on something that maybe we shouldn't be spending government dollars on at all. But I just love that the pivot will immediately go here. The pivot will go to Epstein files and all the discussions about that, because the one thing Democrats really don't want you paying attention to is how little it mattered that the government was shut down as long as it was shut down. Did it impact people? Yes. Were your flights canceled? Were some airports horrible to go to? Yeah. There are things that demonstrate that you want a government functioning. But the version of the one we have being shut down for as long as it was and having as little impact on our society and Main Street as it did really kind of screams how small government is a tremendously better option than big government, which is the thing, again, Democrats don't want you focused on, so they're not going to talk about it at all. All right, quick break. A lot coming up in a very short amount of time left. Greg Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Holy cow! Another beautiful play for Indiana. A new coach, a new team, a new energy in Bloomington.
You're going to see a bunch of guys that are all about winning. They play incredibly hard.
Coach Darren DeVries is ready to write the next chapter in Hoosier basketball.
We love what I think the fans are going to be able to see in terms of how we approach every game.
IU basketball is back. Up next, Incarnate Word, Sunday at 5:30 on the home of the Hoosiers, 93 WIBC.
It's that time of year again. When the leaves turn, the days get shorter, and you hear a lot about Medicare open enrollment. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options, you're not alone. Original Medicare, Advantage plans, Part D, Medigap, it's a lot to sort through. And making the wrong choice can cost you more than just your financial confidence. That's where Howard Bailey Financial comes in. At Howard Bailey, we don't just help you pick a Medicare plan. We help you make a more confident choice with your full financial picture in mind. Our team has licensed Medicare professionals backed by experienced financial advisors, all working together to help you retire with purpose. Get started by texting CARE to 888-494-5004 to speak with the Howard Bailey team and start your Medicare conversation today. At Howard Bailey Financial, we make Medicare simple so you can focus on enjoying the season, not stressing about it. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Senator Jim Banks is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Jim Banks at 202-224-4814 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Looking for a cozy spot to relax, work, or grab your coffee to go? LC Coffee House in Noblesville, Indiana has you covered. Try our indulgent affogato, a sweet blend of espresso and ice cream, or sample our coffee flights to discover your perfect brew. In a rush, our drive-thru is ready to serve you fast and fresh. Need a space to collaborate? We offer meeting rooms perfect for co-working. Whether you're grabbing a quick drink or spending the day with us, LC Coffee House is the place to be.
What's Jeff Saturday up to these days?
Retiring from football means a lot of things for a guy like me. It means more time to pick up some hobbies, like baking, puzzles, and some gardening. It also means pinching pennies. And that's why I look for unclaimed property at indianaunclaimed.gov. Look, it's your money, and they want you to have it. So check indianaunclaimed.gov or text Jeff to 46220 and search now.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Craig, we're checking out southbound 6570. Then stop and go traffic north, split down to Washington Street. It's construction. Eastbound 465 slow after Keystone past Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with a qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15th. Go to drexelin.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 48 degrees. Expect a high today of about 66 degrees and a very sunny, nice day, other than the temperature maybe not being as warm as you want it to be, but 66 ain't bad. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
Head online to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 4th at Cambridge Fieldhouse.
Oh, man, no. County Cats, the morning news. 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. We are playing the TV theme song, and I know some people are probably yelling the TV theme song at the radio already. I know this. I recognize this. I don't know it.
You have a
I'm
lifeline.
I know. I'm going to call in a friend. Matt Bear, you there? Do you know what this is the theme song to?
This is Tic-Tac-Doe, Craig.
You know, I love your confidence every time you answer that question, by the way. I don't think you've ever been, even a little bit unsure of yourself, even if you've been wrong.
I just love Tic-Tac-Doe.
It is a great show.
Oh, it's fantastic.
No, I don't have it, Carl.
I'll give you a clue.
Uh-huh.
We talked about it today.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Think
we
about
talked about it today. I know. I talk about all the things today.
But it's a TV show.
Oh, is it the Supermarket Sweep? All right. Nice. I knew what it was. Yeah, no, that makes sense now. That is the theme song to Supermarket Sweep, a show that I'd like to be on. And I would do it the craziest way that anyone's ever done it. If they give me one shot at Supermarket Sweep, I'm going to go viral because I'm going to do things that no one's seen done before inside a grocery store. That's all I'm saying about that. I have a plan. I have an idea. I'm not telling you what it is. They got to put me on the show. That show's not on anymore, right?
Well, what you would do is you scan everything twice, okay? And then you really run
I
up the
just
money.
cheat.
Yeah, you got to cheat a little bit.
No, I have a better plan than that. I know what I'm doing, and I'm not telling anybody again until they put me on that show.
Would you
and
push
it'll be
people
all
over?
I don't know. Carl, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Only if they
Who
have
knows?
kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Only if there are children involved.
Yeah.
No. Some things out there before we get out of here. I thought this was interesting. A dad has gone viral on Instagram by doing something specific. He walks and tells dad jokes in his neighborhood. People have heard him do this. People have seen him. But apparently he's like a viral sensation because he's not just telling dad jokes. He's doing the old TV trick where you walk and then tell the jokes with the camera in front of you. So it looks like it's more important. I do have an example of some of the jokes that he tells while he's on his daily walk. You decide if you think these are good or not. I enjoy dad jokes. Here we go.
I love puns so much. I entered a competition. I submitted 10 puns. I thought at least one of them's going to win, right? No pun intended.
Oh.
I was diagnosed with a fear of German sausages. I feared the worst. My kids wanted to go see some orchestral jazz concert. I said no. The thing is full of sax and violins.
I like that last one.
Yeah,
if
I like
I was going to be honest about any of those jokes, the last one's pretty good. But this guy is a viral sensation on the internet for his deadpan delivery of dad jokes while walking around his neighborhood.
I think that's a good viral video because
Sure.
everybody can relate to dad jokes because whether you have kids or not, you're telling them at some point or another. And you want
Yes.
people to laugh at them. And they're clever. They're just like little off jokes. It's not like you're doing a Eddie Murphy monologue or anything. It's just something
Correct.
really easy. And people attract to that. It's cool. Just something soft and light and not nefarious or yelling at each other. I mean, good on him. I think that's cool.
Do you have a favorite dad joke,
No.
Matt? Am I putting you on the spot or
all
no?
my jokes are dirty and raw, and you can't tell them, any of them on the radio. It's all lowbrow blue humor, and I'm surprised I haven't been thrown out of the state.
That's perfect, though. I think that's fine. I think that's completely fine, actually, in all honesty. I think everybody should tell more terrible jokes because it's just a joke. Why do we care? Other things out there, I thought this was interesting. Facts about the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving that you might not know. Apparently, this went viral. None of these things are actually, bad. I thought that the shocking thing about I don't know why I thought this, by the way. This probably says something about my brain, like you just said about yours, Matt. But a Charlie Brown Christmas, or Thanksgiving, excuse me, I thought was going to have stuff like the Disney movies have in it, like sex references and things, and we didn't see them before, and that's why it was going viral. None of that's in there. It's just little stuff, like that there are, birds in animation that you might not notice, Lucy in the opening scene where you might not notice her, et cetera, et cetera. But apparently, people very big fans of the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, so they want to know everything and anything about the 1973 TV special that has been out for 52 years, but we're still discovering things about it.
No, I think that's cool. I mean, everybody loves it, and it's fun, and it's something that you can find on TNT, and they run 24 hours, and the whole family can enjoy. I don't know if the newer generations, like the younger kids, have the same kind of appeal to it, if they're into the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, because they've grown up with so many other things, man. I mean,
That's
what's
true.
tradition to us, whether it be It's a Wonderful Life or Scrooged or whatever we watch on Christmas and Thanksgiving, planes, trains, and automobiles, if they're still into the same thing, or if we're just force-feeding it on them, But if they sit sit down and love it and enjoy it, more power to them, and it will bring you joy. It will bring you
That's
that
true.
kind of family nostalgia, Thanksgiving feeling. I mean, they're great shows. There's talent. There's so much talent behind this animation and even the scripting, as simplistic as it is. I mean, it's just beautiful art too. I mean, I love it.
My favorite, by the way, of the things that were revealed, apparently the voice actors for Lucy and Charlie Brown are still friends. They're Facebook friends. They communicate with each other. They went to high school together. So people are happy to know that Lucy and Charlie are still buddies in real life. And that makes me happy, too, for some reason. Again, I don't know why I thought it would be more salacious. That after 50-something years, maybe this is because I pay too much attention to politics, that I assume if something goes viral that's this old, it has to be something horrible and not nice and not all that bad that goes viral about it. And the things that they discovered are all not so bad. I think there was one reference to bird cannibalism, by the way, but I'm going to leave that out.
No. No, I remember the bird cannibalism in Charlie Brown Christmas Thanksgiving. Yeah, when they eat Woodstock instead of the Thanksgiving dinner, it's instead of the turkey, they just chew up the hummingbird. Yeah. And it was tragic. Totally demented me when I was a kid.
It's horrible. I think what it actually is Woodstock taking a part in the Thanksgiving dinner and eating the turkey. But apparently, the creator Charles Schultz that he never intended for that to be as bad as it looks. And Woodstock is a horrible person or horrible bird.
Well, now that you mention it, that is appalling. You don't see Lucy eating Charlie Brown for Thanksgiving dinner. They're cooking him up in an oven and then just serving him to a pig pen and all the friends. I mean,
there you go.
You don't see that happening. So why is Woodstock taking a chunk out of his body?
Oh my God, it's gotten dark at the end of the show.
Well, no, this is a great point. I'm not going to watch it. I'm done.
To be honest, I'm not surprised though, because Matt was a fan of the Winnie the Pooh movie that was scary, weren't you? Weren't you a fan of the crazy one that came out?
Okay, pretty cool. Yeah.
I forget what that was even called, like Winnie the Pooh Death or something.
Vampire
All right, we got to get out of here.
The Walking Pooh. That could be fun.
Oh, I'm having a good time. All right, we got to get out of here. See you guys later. Thanks so much, everybody. Listen to Matt and Craig. Excellent podcast. Matt's got traffic for us.
Southbound 6570 jam, north split down to Washington Street.